We are recording. Don't laugh. Mike. Check 1 2 1 2. What is this? It's your boys, Shawny boy.
Nate. I change my intro every time. Whatever. Welcome to the Big Weeb Podcast. We're doing Spoilercast today. Hope your days are going well. How was your day, Shawny?
My day is good.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry. I'm still dying at this intro. What just happened?
We don't plan intros here.
What did we just... Okay.
I need to be more energetic in these things. Come on.
Well, you're a sleepy boy. You are a sleepy streamer.
I'm a sleepy streamer, yeah.
All right, and today we are doing the Spoilercast. Spoilercast / impression / review / whatever we do. Just go on tangents about Final Fantasy Remake. Both of us have, since the time of this recording, have officially finished the game.
Since the time of recording, we haven't spoke to each other since March. We've been on the Final Fantasy VII grind.
Yes, we finally got to play this greatness. So, with the start, before, when I was doing the planning and everything, I was like, maybe we should, just throw out random impressions or whatever. I actually want to start with the elephant in the room. So
there's an elephant in your room?
Not in my room, but there's elephants in the room of Final Fantasy Remake. Let's see. Okay, so let me make sure I turn the sound down. The elephant in the room is the ending of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, well, yeah.
What is your thoughts and feelings on this?
My thoughts are all over the place with this shit, because I don't know where to start. Because I genuinely thought, I had no idea, that it was going to end, like, after the highway. You beat that boss, we'll talk about the boss later, and then you get to the end of the highway, and that's it. You have, like, a cutscene, they talk about shit, boom, next game. But, oh my god. I never expected time to come into this, or death.
Now,
and I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember exactly in the original. Does Biggs and Jesse die in the original? Like, die straight off?
Big, Jesse, Wedge all die at this. Literally, Wedge dies. Like, he falls from the the part in the remake when he falls. When he falls, like he falls flat down, like he doesn't, like, nothing stops him or nothing. He doesn't have, like, the grappling hook or whatever he had, like, in the remake. Like, he just falls and he dies there. And then Biggs dies there, and then Jesse dies next.
Okay, so that's a big difference in this remake that they've changed time itself, and obviously it's a remake, so they could do what the fuck they want. So in this one, Biggs, Jesse, and Wedge are all alive.
So let me explain this whole thing, because I saw, because I was in your stream while you was playing the whole ending part, because I was like, I know he's freaking out, but I was like, he probably doesn't 100% understand what is going on. It was like his mind is probably just all like, well, what the freak's happening right now and everything.
The Sephiroth battle. I caught me off guard.
I want to go before the Sephiroth battle.
Let's not talk about the Sephiroth battle yet, because that was cool as shit.
I want to explain this whole thing, because I'm going to tell you this. About midway during the game, when I was streaming it, I was literally like, something was happening. I'm explaining what was happening. Something was happening, and I literally pressed pause, looked at the camera, and said, I have a theory about what's happening with this game right now, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
Because those things weren't in the original.
No, they was not in the original at all. No. And that's
what I started to think as well. Like, what's going on? I don't remember any.
That was the thing, because I was like, at first I was like, okay, this is just things, they just changing things for remake. But then I started catching on to something. And like, it happened the first time and I was like, I have a theory, but I'm not sure if it's true yet. It happened again and I said it again. It happened the third time and I was like, I think my theory is true. We got to this part right here that I'm showing right now and I was like, oh, my theory is 100% true.
What was your theory?
My theory was, I was like, the Whispers, the Arbiters of Fate. I was like, well, first off, my theory is just one sentence. My theory is, this is a sequel. This is Final Fantasy Part 2.
Oh, okay.
But it's Final Fantasy Part 2, not in a average children type of sequel.
Yeah,
it's Final Fantasy.
It's more like they're catching onto themselves.
Yeah, so
in a sense,
the Whispers, the Arbiter of Fate. If you go back and watch, anytime that they show up, they always show up whenever something is changed from the original.
Yeah.
So
I understand
when they just like certain parts that I can remember, like. And I just saw it in chapter 3 when Barrett was like, when he told Cloud, okay, we don't need you anymore for this. You know, in the original, they asked Cloud like, hey, are you gonna come to this other reactor and help us with this? And he was like, well, I need the right price, blah blah blah. And then he joined them and went to the other reactor. And this game, Barrett came to him and he was like, he slammed the money down on the table, and then he was like, here's your money. He was like, we don't need your services no more, and we need you to leave now, because this is a group meeting now, so you can leave now.
Piss off.
So, and like literally, like right when he said it, the camera panned and they showed like one of the Whispers like really fast. And then
I didn't catch that.
And then it panned over. Like I caught it again like the second time I started like watching it, and I was like, oh, I didn't see it the first time, but like. One thing I did notice was when we was in the church and we first met when Reno first came, in the original, Cloud and Reno don't fight there. In the original, Cloud and Aerith, they run. And they run to that back. Remember, they run to that back area, and that's when they start climbing up and stuff like that. In this one,
intervene.
Yeah, because in this one,
you're not
Cloud. Yeah, Cloud fought Reno, and he beat Reno, so they had no reason. They had no reason to run away. So like they were just standing there, and they was like, "Yeah, like what? like now what?" So the Whispers had to come and was like, "Well, shit, like destiny is supposed to happen where they're supposed to run away." So that's why they came and they took Aerith in the back room, and that's why Cloud had to follow them, and then that's why they ran away, and then made time go the way that it should go. Just like
the Whispers are trying to read.
And I did
time.
And going back to the chapter 3 one where Barrett said, "Okay, we don't need you anymore." So that's when he said that, and then that's when Cloud went to go to sleep. He woke up. And then all the Whispers just fucking up everything. And what happened? Remember what happened there? They Jessie's leg ended up messing up, so she couldn't go no more. So Cloud had to come. So now time is going how the original game intended it to be, where Cloud was supposed to go to the other reactor. Yeah. So like any time the Whispers showed up, like every time the Whispers showed up, just like Jessie's death. She was like she was throwing the bombs, and she was actually like beating the soldiers and stuff. And then that's when the Whispers came, and like she had the bomb in her hand and she tried to throw it, but then they came and they stopped it, so the bomb can hit her, so she can get blown up, because she's supposed to die there, because she was gonna end up not dying.
Yeah. I was like, that was one of the things. Like, wait, she's supposed to die here, but she's beating these fucks.
Yeah, and that's when the Whispers came and intervened and was like, no, you're supposed to die. So that's what she came and died.
No.
Because like, if you didn't really pay attention to that stuff, you kind of think the Whispers are kind of like a Sephiroth, either a Sephiroth thing or something with the ancients. Because that's what I was thinking. That's what I was going for at first. I was like, I was like, I think they have something to do with the ancients, because I was like, they started out following Aerith around and everything, and I was like, now they keep showing up. They're showing up when Sephiroth, like, and they show up a lot when Sephiroth come, because Sephiroth's not supposed to be here right now.
Yeah,
so it's like
was never in the original.
So it's like, why the freak is like they looking like, why the freak are you here? Like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, you're not supposed to be here yet. So you come to this part. Once you come to this part, then it's like, okay, so this is our destiny. Destiny is supposed to go in. This is the timeline it's supposed to go, but we don't want this timeline to happen. So we want to fight.
We don't
destiny.
Want Aerith dying.
So in this, there's another cool thing. Once you go through it, so once you go through the other side, what happens? It's the same exact thing. Like, you go through, like, they're on the highway, then they walk through the portal, and then it's just the highway again. Because it is the highway of the regular timeline in the regular Final Fantasy VII. Arbiter of Fates now is like, okay, now you're fucking up everything.
Now you're being bitches.
So now, Big Boy comes out. They all come together. And now Big Boy comes out. And what does he do? He starts attacking them.
This is like the most anime part of the game.
When he said, like Kingdom Hearts. Like, what's this Kingdom Hearts shit? So once he starts attacking it, who does he sick on them? He sicks on three different monsters, 3 different bosses that at one time.
These guys are fucking me up in the beginning.
And I saw you didn't do it, and I was like, I hope he did. You did do it, so you assess them, so you can see the information, but you didn't read. But you didn't read what the information said. So let me see if I can hold on one second, because I wanna. Because I literally did this, and I was literally just freaking out on screen.
Accidentally.
So
I forgot to do it again.
If you assess them, the description. So for the red one, the description is an entity from a future timeline that has manifested in the present day. It fights with a sword to protect the future that gave shape to it. The blue one says an entity from a future timeline that has manifested in the present day. It fights barehanded to protect the future that gave shape to it. The yellow one says an entity from a future timeline that has manifested in the present day. It fights with guns to protect the future that gave shape to it. Who were you fighting?
Us.
You're fighting Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett.
Yeah.
From the original Final Fantasy timeline.
Yes. Oh. Oh no.
That's what it said. It's an entity from a future timeline, because that happened. The original game happened already. This was them, and they didn't really explain it. So my theory is this is them after they had died. They already joined the live stream, and now they came back as one of the Whisperers once they're in the live stream. And they came back to protect the timeline, because this is supposed to be their destiny. This is why I was hyped. This is why I'm like, yo, so much of this is just blowing my mind right now. So then you fight these things. You fight your future selves. You fight Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith from the future timeline. You end up beating them and winning. After you beat them and win, who do we fight now? We end up fighting Sephiroth. Why is Sephiroth showing up for early and everything like this? It's kind of weird and confusing, right? Here is one clear thing that can kind of give it like a really big red flag. When you're fighting Sephiroth, when you first fighting him, you're just fighting him like normal and everything like that. When you fight him in the second mode, when he gets his black wing,
there's one wing.
What does he summon?
Meteor.
He summons Meteor. In the original game, he could only summon Meteor if he has the black materia.
He doesn't have the black. He's from the future?
It's future Sephiroth.
Oh no.
He's future Sephiroth coming back to the past. And he was the whole time we in the game, that we seen him, other than one
stop
time,
them.
which I will explain. The whole time that Cloud seen Sephiroth was future Sephiroth from the future from that timeline.
Game is Square. How the fuck
Now,
do you do this?
later when they was in the Shenmue building and everybody can see Sephiroth, you're like, oh, what's different now? How come everybody can see Sephiroth now? What's going on? That wasn't the future Sephiroth. That was, if you remember Sephiroth, he goes to the top of the building and Cloud follows him.
Yeah, that wasn't Sephiroth.
And then he falls down. That's one of the Sephiroth clones. That's one of the guys with the tattoos on his arm.
Yeah.
Basically cosplaying as Sephiroth. Because Sephiroth is supposed to take Genova back. It's supposed to take the Genova cells back. But he never came to do that because we had this Sephiroth from the future timeline now who's messing up things.
It's like remake, but
yes.
no, not really.
This is why I was freaking out, because I was like, yeah, because like I was catching on to all of this as it was happening, and I think this is why, because like if you go online, a lot of people are just like shitting on this ending, and it's like, I don't like this ending. Why did they change the ending so much? Blah blah blah. I'm like, I wanted this ending from the middle of the game when I started realizing, and I was like, I think I know what's happening. And I was like, if this is actually happening, this is crazy as fuck. And then I got to, and I was like, wow, this is actually happening. So this is crazy as fuck right now because I'm super hyped that I had to put this right. So yeah, the whole time, like that's why when Cloud first sees Sephiroth, he's like, you need to run, you need to live. You need to, like he's telling him, like he needs to follow, like he's like Sephiroth, like Sephiroth knows what's happening. Also, who kind of knows what's happening, but she's not sure, is Aerith. She's like in the middle of it because she's like, she knows what's happening, but she doesn't really know.
Does not exist.
That's what. And another cool thing that Sephiroth said that a lot of people didn't get. He says, hold on.
That word lies ahead does not exist yet.
That he says that was dope as
fuck. But I will not end.
He said, I won't end, nor will I have you end. And then he says, oh, where is it?
Where is
this is it's okay. It's after they start fighting. It's
time enough.
Hold on. It's this right here. So they start fighting. Sephiroth basically like wins. And he says 7 seconds to the end. Time enough for you perhaps. But remember when you was fighting Sephiroth?
Yeah, he was counting down.
7, 6, 5, 4. Like like everything just ties in together. So beautifully, and that's what I think that's the reason why people don't like this ending, because they just wasn't catching it. A lot of people like
where my man.
And I want to and let me take it even further. And this is another theory that I had. Let's go back before the Sephiroth battle, and let's go back to the Arbiters of Fate and the Whispers, and talking about that.
Okay.
So let's even let's put Final Fantasy VII Remake for a side. Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC. Now you're like, what the fuck are you about to go into now?
Okay, go on.
So Nomura. So remember, and I'm gonna get the names wrong and stuff. I know you probably know the names and everything more than me. In the Kingdom Hearts DLC, Nomura, what did he do? At the end, you had to fight what's his name? The secret character, whatever his name is, Yozora, something like it. Yeah.
He's from the original Final Fantasy.
He's from the original Final Fantasy 13 versus 13. The reason why Nomura did that because he was director of that project, and he was actually enjoying and loving like making that and making Noctis into that character and everything like that. And Square canceled it. And then that's when they changed the whole thing for 15 and gave it to a whole different director and everything like that. And Nomura never really Nomura didn't like that.
He's like, no, I will do it.
Because like that was like he was like Noctis was his baby, and like kind of like how Sora is his baby and stuff like that. And he was like, they basically like took that away from me, and then they just made it their own thing.
So Nomura decided to pick Final Fantasy.
He was like, so before that, so that's what the DOC is. The DOC is basically taking shots at Square Enix. Because the DOC is basically saying, "Oh, I'm still making my game. This is my game right here. This is my game. This is my creation. This is my Noctis is my character. Here's my Noctis right here. Here's the game right here. Here's Final Fantasy versus 13. What y'all gonna do about it?" Like basically, just the big middle finger to Square.
And he did it again with this.
So he did it again with this, but and I've seen some theories online, and people was like. This is like another thing, like he's taking shots at Square, and I was like, no. He's not taking shots at Square.
No.
Who do you think the Whispers are? The Whispers are us. The Whispers are the fans. The Whispers are the fans who are saying, we want a remake, but you need to make it like this. You need to do it exactly how we want it. Like don't change it. So every time he's changing something within the story, the fans are coming and saying no, change it back. No, change it back. And then that's when you get to the end, and then all of the Whispers start coming together and they start screaming, and then remember like Cloud's like, what's that noise? And Red 13, he was like, that's the cry, or either Red 13 or Aerith said, I can't remember. And he's like, that's the cries from the Whispers yelling out from the planet. And it was like, that is the fans. Basically, we're at the end of the game and the fans are just basically fed up. The fans are just basically like, this is what this fight is against. This is Nomura. Nomura is Avalanche, Team Avalanche, Cloud and everybody going against the fans. Or the Whispers.
How much the fans though likes this.
And at the end, Nomura wins.
Nomura always wins.
So then, after Nomura wins and beats the fans, not even counting the Sephiroth part, but after he beats the fans, what happens? Basically says, fuck everything you want. We show Jessie back alive. I mean, not Jessie. We show Biggs back alive. We don't know if Jessie. She finally is back alive. But
we saw a headband.
Yeah, we saw the headband. We saw that Biggs is back alive, and he really just said, "Fuck y'all even more." Zack's still alive.
Is he still alive? Because that was technically the past. We don't know exactly what happened to Zack because he was dragging Cloud along.
It was the past, but remember, he goes to the. Here it is. So remember, he's like still fighting, and then he gets to this part, and he's like, wait. He said, "There's no more." He's like, "That's all of them." So he beats all of the soldiers.
Huh.
Because this is the past, but that's just like the past, just like Jessie and Biggs was the past. And now after they beat the Arbiters of Fate, they came back alive. So now
They would make a character model for him if they weren't going to do anything with him.
And as I say, yeah, they included Zack too much in this ending part. Like, it has to be something big. And at the very end, which this is still kind of confusing. This is just like the theories and everything like that of what this is. Where basically when they're walking away, when the Avalanche is walking away, and then Zack holding Cloud walks by them and they cross paths. Kind of like they I feel like it's symbolism of they're gonna cross paths again.
Yeah. So we wrote past, and now it's on to a new future.
So, what the fuck is this game?
This game is a masterpiece.
And this is why I say it's a sequel, because I do recommend like the game, just if somebody wants to get that Final Fantasy VII story, I do recommend like newcomers to play the game. But once you get to this part, it's gonna be hard to really like digest that if you have no background of Final Fantasy VII. Like, there's no way you're gonna piece apart everything that I just talked about.
Yeah.
Like, if you never played the original game. So that's why it's hard to really be like, okay, this is not a remake, a standalone remake, like to be played on its own, really. Like, this game is part of the compilation. Like, this is another piece of the compilation. Like, we have Avid Children, which is the future. We have Third to Service, which is even more into the future, but comes back to the past. We have Crisis Core, which is our past. And now we have
Let's
Remake.
not talk about Third to Service.
It's still part of the compilation.
Yeah,
and now we have Remake, which is an alternate timeline within the compilation.
Timeline.
So like I said, this game, like that ending.
No one likes doing that.
That ending is my favorite part of this whole game. Like everybody's like shitting on it. Everybody is saying it's bad, it's horrible. Why did they do it? And I'm like, this is the best part. Because like it's like, how else would you end this? Like, how else could you end this game? And like
maybe that's why they didn't name it Final Fantasy Remake Part 1.
Exactly. Like, and all of this was all coming to me like later on. Like I was like, and that's why it's named Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because I
wonder what the next one's gonna be called.
This is a remake of Final Fantasy VII. Like, it's not remastered. It's not just redone. It's remade. They're remaking the history. They're remaking the story and everything of it. This is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I mean, if they don't kill off Aerith, I'm good.
So and then that's the big thing. So with part two can go literally anywhere. Part 2 can
at this point it can go anywhere.
See, part 2 can go exactly how the rest of the game goes. Like, it can, because right now we're at that standstill of they left Midgar, and what is the next step is the hunt for Sephiroth. So it can go the same thing. It can go, okay, they go to Calm. Once they get to Calm, Cloud tells the story about everything that happened in Nibelheim, blah blah blah. He still thinks he's Zack.
It probably will go the same way.
Like, all of that can happen the same, but so many things could just change easily.
And they will.
And now in the second one, if things change, there's no Arbiters of Fate. Because they beat the Arbiters of Fate. So now if something changes, if it changes, it's done. Like, it's changed. So now we just have to go the rest of the timeline of, okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. What's gonna happen next after this happened now?
I'm just hoping, because like when you were fighting the Arbiter of Fate, you got like visions of the future. So I'm hoping that will tie into something in 2.
Yeah,
like certain things in 2. Like, oh, we had a vision of this. We can do this.
And then, I think that was all of the visions were not the best visions, because like they saw the visions of like Aerith dying and stuff like that. Like, you saw the holy materia dropping, and then like
it was more of like they get to the place, they do the vision gets more clearer.
Yeah, and that's why like they saw the ending of Advent Children was the first vision that they saw, when Red 13 and his people were running.
Yeah.
And they was like, and Barrett was like, the hell did we just see? And Red 13, he was like, that's our future if we fail. And it's like, that was another part that like just hit me. I was like, is that the ending of Advent Children? And then he said that, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what is this game? But yeah, that was an amazing ending. And like I said, like just Just certain things. That's why I really like once we started fighting those three things, I was like, because like I didn't even really like read it. Like I assessed, like kind of like you did. Like I assessed them and I started fighting and I paused and I started thinking. I was like, hold up. And then I hit the assess again and then I started reading it and I was like, wait.
I wish I was
fighting
there to see
ourselves.
I wish I was there to see you break down.
It's the VOD. The VOD's still there. You can go. You can go watch the VOD. Like you.
I'll probably watch.
And then the one big part was while I was fighting Sephiroth. Like Sephiroth that was a beast of a fight. I enjoyed that fight. And I
saw the same as I did. You started recognizing his patterns, and it's like, go to fucking Punisher mode.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, all right, Punisher mode. But then every time I would go Punisher mode, he would be like, fuck that, fire, girl, and me fire. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, fuck.
Kind of like me, but I got lucky, and he kept trying to hit me.
Yeah, you beat him faster than me because
I had counter stance as well.
You beat him. I had counter stance too, but I just didn't use it. I was just parrying with. I was just parrying with because I was just trying to attack him. Like I attacked him stronger with. I can't remember what I was doing, but you beat him faster than me because he only got to like what 5 seconds, 4 seconds, or something like that with you. Literally, when I was fighting. Like I'm fighting him. Bang, 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 bang. And before I even get to this part. So when I was watching your thing, I was like, huh. Yours is different than mine's. You want to know why?
Why? What was yours?
When I was fighting him, so I was fighting Sephiroth, and then once Cloud starts losing, Tifa came out, and was like, "You need some." She was like, "You need some help." Cloud was like,
"Well, Tifa came first."
No. Yeah, Tifa came out, and she was like, "You need some help," and Cloud was like, "I don't need help." And then they was like, all right, let's do this. So then Tifa
came from me.
Cloud, yeah, I know. And then Cloud and Tifa would start fighting.
Probably because I was going for Aerith.
Then after Cloud and Tifa started fighting, then once we started losing again, you just see a gunshot. And then Barrett comes. And then Barrett joins and Barrett starts fighting. Then when I saw yours, and I was like, hold up. Because you had Aerith come. And then you had Tifa come, and I was like, huh. I was like, that's interesting.
I don't know. Probably, maybe because of some choices you made.
Mm-hmm. So then,
because I was going for Aerith, and I accepted the flower and gave it to Tifa, so that probably had some points on her, and then some other stuff.
So I have a question. Remember when after section the plate falls in Sector 7, and we go to Aerith's house, Aerith's mother's house and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we spend the night, and then remember Cloud wakes up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
He walks outside. Who's standing at the flower garden?
Aerith.
Tifa.
Oh, okay. Fuck. This is the game. That's pretty good. That's really good changes.
Yeah, that's really because that one I learned from. I watched a Spoilercast when somebody said it. Apparently, there's a third choice. I think it might be Barrett. I guess it's probably Barrett.
You could romance Barrett.
But yeah, it was for me, it was Tifa, and basically she was just she was just sad about the whole everything that's happening, and Sector 7 falling and stuff like that, and then she started crying, and then Cloud started hugging her, and then she was like, Cloud, you're hurting me, and he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, it was a really touching moment for that too. Then I did see the Aerith one because when my credits were going, they showed the Aerith one, and I was like, huh? I was like, I've never seen that cutscene, and I didn't even realize, I didn't even recognize it was part of that. I didn't know it was that part. I thought it was just a random, a random thing that I was like, did I forget that? I was like, I must have wasn't fully paying attention when that happened or whatever. But and then that's when I saw later, depending on your choices and stuff like that, different people show up there.
I love that. I love that shit in game.
Yeah, so you have like that there, then you had it at the ending.
Everyone has
too.
like their own little playthrough then.
And then at the ending, when I'm fighting freaking Sephiroth, and like he jumps up and he does that. I can't remember the name of the move. Like Angel something, Holy something, and then like he shoots down like a white
angel.
Heartless Angel. Yep. And then
I know that shit so well because Kingdom Hearts 1 battle Sephiroth kept doing that.
And then he
Heartless Angel.
He shoots it down. And like basically like just makes all everybody's health just goes to 1.
It just fucks you up basically.
And then like literally like he did that. And then like I remember like literally like he did that. And like I think Cloud was the only one that lived and Barrett and Tifa died. And like literally like I'm going to the items. I click on Phoenix down. I throw Phoenix down. Tifa wakes up. He does another attack and attack both of us, and then we both die. Barrett's already dead. Me and Tifa die, and I'm like, damn it! I was like, I lost. Cloud gets back up, and his health comes back up, and I was like, wait. I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then I was like, I forgot. I put the revival earrings on Cloud literally right before that battle. like right before that battle, I went into the menu and I wasn't even thinking about putting on them. I was just going through the menu. I was like, I just want to get whatever the best equipment. I was like, best sword. Well, I was like, I want the best sword, but I was like, best defense. So I was like, I don't know what bundle I want to use. I'm gonna use one of these, and then I went to the accessories. I was like, what accessories should I use? Blah, blah, blah. I was about to put the championship belt on, and I was like, I'll just put the revival earrings on. I was like, just in case. I don't know if I need them. But I was like, just in case, I'll put those on. And like, as I did it, I didn't even think about that I even had it, and I literally died. Like I literally died, and then like he just gets back up, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how did he get back up?
You lucky bastard.
I was like, oh shit. So then that's why I threw potion on Tifa and Barrett. And then they woke up, so we just fighting. You know, Sephiroth, he's counting down like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. And then like right at 2, he does the what you call the thing again. Or he does something. I don't know if he does that move or he does another thing. And then he kills Barrett. Tifa's like on red health. Cloud is like down on health too. Sephiroth goes 1.
Yeah, this guy has Cloud arrow.
Yeah. So Sephiroth goes 1. As soon as Sephiroth goes 1, like I'm Cloud, I'm like Sephiroth's all the way over there. I'm all the way back here. He has like this much health. Like he has like a little bit of health. I just hit square. Cloud dashes across. And just hits Sephiroth, like right when Sephiroth says 1, like Cloud just dashes across, attacks Sephiroth, and it's like Sephiroth has been defeated. I was like, what the fuck?
You lucky.
I was like, yeah. I was like, this was the most epic fight. I was like, I'm glad all of that happened at this fight. I was like, I literally died, got back up, almost died again because he's at the 1 and attacked him right at the last second. I was like, that was the most epic fight that I had this whole time.
Anime fight ever. Like the main character decided, I'm not gonna lose here. Fucking gets back up into overcharge.
I didn't do any type of I didn't do no type of special move or nothing. I just hit square. This man just dashes across the whole thing and just sits there with the sword.
It will not end here.
Yeah, that was so great.
That was cute. I'm just a pro gamer and just catch on to things easily. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you had it. I was like, oh, well, he just.
I kept track of his elemental shit as well.
Yeah, he kept on switching things up. But like I said, I was trying to do Punisher mode, and every time I do Punisher mode, then he would just do a magic spell, so I couldn't parry. I was like, well, fuck you then.
I'm a fixer for just fucking switching characters on the fly.
But
so as soon as one character gets like fucking hit off screen, I'm like, switch, punch for the other.
But let's talk about some more stuff in the thing.
What are my notes?
Yeah, we can go into some of your notes if you want to go.
What have I got on my notes? Well, we've talked about the ending. Let's talk
about the beginning. I have right here.
Beginning.
Just before we even not even in the beginning in general. Cloud's personality. It's great.
Okay, I have I should have put it down. The voice acting, for the game. I haven't heard Japanese. I've heard smidgens of Japanese, but I've mostly played in English.
Yeah,
Top notch.
mostly in English. Yeah,
Some of the best voice acting I've heard.
yeah.
And they really did it good and did it right with these characters. Didn't fuck them up.
And I
Not like with 15.
I really love Cloud. Like one part where like I just knew like I love Cloud's personality is when back in chapter 3 when Tifa is basically just explaining, hey, we're about to do some fucking side quest. We're gonna go and we're gonna go around and start giving out these water filters, blah blah blah. And the whole time Cloud is just like
I don't
like as he's talking, he's just like he's just like the player right now. Like he's like us. And like, oh my god, I don't want to do no fucking side quest right now.
Yeah, well, that's cute.
And it was like just spot on. Like I just loved like that personality. Like and like I like how like his personality really just grows. Like he is just kind of like, fuck you, pay me. Like the whole beginning, and then like, you know, as it goes on, he's actually like caring about people and stuff like that.
He's a no nonsense man.
One thing I did really notice though was they really how can I explain it? Like I feel like in the original game, a lot of people always feel like Aerith was the like match with Cloud. You know, unless you do, you know, the extra stuff so you can actually change
In this game, it really felt like Tifa.
In this game, it really felt like Tifa because like when he's around Tifa, Cloud is like the most comfortable human being, like with like compared to like anybody else who's around him. Like when he's around any other character, he feels like this introverted, like socially awkward guy. But then when he's like around Tifa, he's just like more like cool, calm, collected, like, and he seems more like relaxed. Like, you know, when he went back to the houses or whatever, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, let's go out and celebrate." And he's like, "Yeah, let's go, let's do that, sure." Like nobody else he had that type of like personality with. Like when he's with Aerith, like Aerith was a very like kind of like a very clingy, but I feel like that plays more into the part of how I was saying was before, where she kind of knows what's going on with the whole story, so she's trying to get Cloud to stay with her because
it was kind of funny with Aerith because like two coming together.
Yeah, and it's just like Aerith's personality. She just has this very strong personality. Just very like, you know, like she's very, you can tell, like she's kind of like Jessie, but she's not direct in the flirtiness. She's just more direct personality wise.
It's more what's the word for it? Bubbly.
Yeah, she's like bubbly. At the same time, she's sarcastic.
Which I love.
But she's not like sarcastic like in the asshole type of way. She's sarcastic and in a like, you know, cutesy type of way, like oh, you're trying to be funny type of way.
One of my favorite parts of her is like you're climbing up the ladder. You're going across the rooftops in sector 5, is it? And you go up the ladder and like you wait for Aerith climb the ladder. She's like, I can do everything on my own, blah blah blah, blah. And the fucking like ladder snaps.
Right.
And she's like, shit.
And she's like, shit.
It's like the first curse word and the last. Wow.
It's funny.
The cute moment, like, oh my god, really? I like the stuff she says as well, like, you mad?
Yeah, and she's like, you mad? I was like, did they just meme? They just meme Aerith.
Mosey.
And then they did the Let's Mosey. Yeah, I was super hype about that. And I remember, like, when I was streaming, I literally said, like, right before they even said it, I was like, all right, Let's Mosey.
I had one of those moments when Cloud It's just after you meet Red 13 when he's going down the elevator, or walking down the elevator, or having like visions, and he passes out, and then he wakes up in a room, and he says, "Where are we?" Like a couple seconds before, no, like a little, like a millisecond before he says that, I literally just said, "Where are we?" And he says that, I'm like, oh my god.
I like Red 13. I like Red 13's personality too. Like he was like the very smart guy, but then at the same time he was kind of like the sarcastic asshole too. Like like Barrett was like like, what are you, some type of lab rat? And he was like, I'm a dog.
I'm a
and
dog.
then and he's like, do I look like a rabbit? I'm a dog. And then like when Hagar was like, who are y'all people? And Barry was like, he was like, Avalanche. And Aaron was like, local flower girl. And then Red 13 was like, lab rat dog.
I love that.
I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, I like the dark moments that's in this, but then you still have that playfulness around it, which is the original Final Fantasy Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, it makes me kind of sad that he wasn't a playable character and he was just a guest character.
Yeah,
but it makes me excited for him in part 2, though.
Part 2, we have him, we have Yuffie, we have Vincent, we have Sid.
Oh, I can't wait to see what Yuffie, Sid, and everyone else looks like now.
Yep. I want to see how that, like, I hope Yuffie plays a big part just because of the whole, because now they're including the whole Wu-Tai being at war with Magar thing. So I hope like that's a big thing with like Yuffie
characters. A lot more story to everyone else, so
yeah.
I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah, like had that be like a really big like story point with Yuffie, just so it could be more than just I'm going around stealing people's material.
Woo.
And then she had like her little story part when she leaves or whatever, but it doesn't really give her any more character.
I want to like even swapping characters out and stuff like that. I'm just excited for because we didn't get that at all in this game.
Yeah, like we got it like at the very end once we actually had the 4, which like the whole I didn't like the whole 2 and 2, like the whole part before we got to like fighting Genova and stuff like that, and Hojo and stuff.
Hojo.
Okay, if we're gonna talk about things, we could talk about let's talk about the negative things in the game. That was one of them.
I thought it was unique. At least I like playing as Tifa.
It was a good system, and I like playing as Tifa. But like, I feel like just like a lot of other parts in this, like a lot of the bad parts dragged on. Like that's one of the parts. The other part is the arm thing when you're with Aerith. Oh yeah, that one. Like that part, it was like you like did it once and you're like, oh, okay. Then you did it again and then you're like, okay, let's keep going. Then you third time and I'm like, all right, I don't know how I feel about this now. like it's like we didn't need to drag that on for too long. Like that was something that was too long. The part when you're in the labs, that was too long, and the other part before you get into I always get which sector is that, the second reactor? Is that sector 4 or sector 5? I always forget. I think it's sector 5. Before you even get to the reactor, you had
sector 5 because you fall down.
Yeah, that was long as shit. And like before getting to the reactor was long as shit. So and then I was like my whole time at that part, I was like, we're not even at the reactor yet, and we still got to do the whole reactor. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, because I was like, right now this is dragging on, and then when we get to this, I was like, now we have to get to the reactor. Well, I like the reactor was actually good.
The bomb run 2 was actually pretty sick.
Yeah, the bomb run 2 was good. Like that whole thing when you're getting into pieces and stuff like that was actually good. The whole part before it, like that whole thing just like dragged on. Yeah, like that was just I was like, why is it so long? I was like, this is really long. I was like, it doesn't need to be this long.
Attack on those few hours.
But after that though, then yeah, things got good. That's one negative. Another negative I had was some of the animations were slow. Of course, of course the like let's go through this little area. Let's squeeze into here. Okay, let's move, move, move. Okay, we're in it now. And I understand you're trying to load the next part, but it's like this is really like it's taking so long, especially when it's like small little things. Like when you're in the I can't say his name, the Don's area, and like Cornelio, and there is like an item box on the other side, and that's all. And you need to go, and you're just squeezing in between the little area just so you can get a fairy ring, and then you can squeeze back. And I'm like, why did we need to do all that? Why didn't you just leave it out in the open so you can get it?
Some things kind of annoyed me with gameplay wise, where like I get it, if you get hit while doing an animation, you don't do the animation, but it uses up your ATB anyway, and then if you do a spell, it uses up your MP.
Like I was like on the fence with that. Like I'm like I slightly like that because it kind of makes it harder, but then at the same time, it is annoying because like I needed that ATB to like use this Phoenix down. And you hit me during this Phoenix down, and now I gotta wait to build the ATB back up so I can use Phoenix down again. And now it's kind of
I died a few times because of that.
I think the biggest time I had an issue with that was when I was fighting Leviathan. Like I was like, all right, I need to revive somebody. Oh, he hits me, and I'm like, God damn it!
Leviathan didn't take me too long, but it was fucking hard.
That took me a long time. I think that was probably my longest fight.
I literally had like everyone equipped with like thunder, and just went ham with it, and like made sure like Barrett. I had Barrett. Yeah, make sure Barrett that was above 3,000 HP.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like Barrett was like the leader of that fight for me. Like for the most part, I just like stood with Barrett. Just like stood back, start shooting him so I can gain ATB. Basically, I was like on defense that whole like battle. Like I was just like gaining ATB, killing everybody, using regen with everybody so like they can heal themselves, and like just constantly like just on the defense, and then like just
having like haste and regen on people.
Yeah, like I was just doing all of that, and like just basically like I just like for the most part just stood with Barrett, and then like I would just do like the quick stuff for like Tifa and Cloud. And just have them like without switching them over, just like, all right, do this attack to him now, do this attack. But then there's like with Barrett, just keep shooting, so I could just have that ATB there. And then like you got to the parts where like he was like flying in the air, and I'm just like, oh, I don't have the MP for this.
Funny enough, I didn't have Barrett with a gun on that one. It didn't take you that long still, but
he was probably higher level than me, because you was handling battles faster than me.
20 something.
I can't remember what level I was.
20, I think I was.
So yeah, like those animations, and then like another thing with
the problem with all games really, like a lot of animations and taking a long time with that. It's just something that they
just like the certain parts where you're like, like you're running. And then, like, kind of like a person stops, and then, like, you stop running, and now you're, like, walking really slow. And Cloud's just walking really slow.
I had a full map.
You say what?
I completely forgot that you had a 3D map.
Yo, you forgot there was a 3D map?
Yeah. I think I looked at it once and never again.
I accidentally opened it a few times.
Huh? Any other negatives?
The other elephant in the room, which it wasn't a game breaker, but it was a noticeable thing. The textures in the background.
Oh yeah, some textures. Yeah,
the textures and backgrounds.
You can tell that some of it was 2D. And
of course, the doors, on the apartments look like PlayStation 1 doors.
You can tell with some backgrounds that was 2D textures as well.
It's a lot of the backgrounds, especially like the one part where I really noticed is when you was climbing up the tower, trying to get before you get to Shimmer Tower.
Yeah, that's why.
And you look down, and it's just a JPEG image, like stretched out. It looks like it was when 1080 JPEG image, and they was like, oh, that's not big enough. We need to make this bigger. And then they went into Photoshop and they kind of like stretched it out so down, like the quality of it just got like fucked. And I was just like, that doesn't look pretty.
That doesn't look great.
It's like, oh, they could have cleaned that up a little bit. And then there were some like background textures too. Like there were some like, like just being in like the slums and stuff. Like sometimes you would see like little like nuts and bolts like in the background, like where the cars and tires and stuff are. There were like nuts and bolts, but they wasn't like 3D models. They were like just flat picture files. Like you can tell, like they're just like picture files. Like there's like, this is just a JPEG file of like a boat. It was like, why?
I get it. You have to keep us entertained for 30 hours or 40 hours.
Yeah, it's like, that's kind of jarring. And people keep saying like, oh yeah, maybe they'll patch that in. You can't really just patch in models like that. Like, like you can't just like do that in like 2 seconds. Like that's a big update to change things into like things that just have low res models to give them bigger textures, and things that's not even models at all to make them into models. It's a small thing, and to patch that in, that's gonna be, we already have 100 file, 100 gigabyte file. We're gonna have another 100 gigabyte file. So like
1,000 gigabytes.
Maybe the PC version might have like a 4K texture pack and stuff like that, because usually PC versions do stuff like that. So maybe the PC version might have something like that or whatever. If it doesn't, it's noticeable, but it wasn't game breaking. It wasn't like this game is ugly. But yeah, it wasn't like, oh, this game's ugly. This is ugly because of these textures. Like it was just like, that's a JPEG file instead of a background. But then you have some good looking JPEG files, like when you got out of the when you first leave out of the
full pack.
Oh, it's not a JPEG, that's a mod. But like when you first get out of the train station, and like you really get to see like the sky of like nighttime Midgar, like it looks beautiful. Like that actually looks like amazing. Like that looks really good. That's just a JPEG file, but it's hard to tell with that part. But yeah,
I remember one section when the Sector 7 plate fell, and I was heading back to the like rubble of it, and I looked up and like saw that the whole plate was gone and everything like that, and I was like, oh my god, that looks sick. That was one of the moments I had.
Yeah, there's always just like
in the nighttime.
Can we talk about the music?
Music was
I think the music was like the one thing that's just like even
amazing all the way through.
Even when I got to those parts where I was just like,
I was like, oh fuck's sake, this, fuck's sake that. The
like,
music just
like I said, like even when I was at that part where like we was in the labs and stuff, and I was just like, oh, this is going on for long, and then you just kind of faintly hear the Genova theme in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, this is great. I was like, this is amazing. I think one part I really like just freaked out over the music was the very first time they played the battle theme, Let the Battle Begin. Right after you talk to Aerith, and then like she gets chased away, and then like the camera pans right behind Cloud, and then that's when the don't. But then it's not the original one. It's like this remix version, and then once it gets to that there's like extra like violins and stuff like that, and it sounds like we're in like it sounds like we're like on the world map on a like Tales of game, like like how like Tales of like games, like their openings and stuff like that sounds like extra like like just extra like floaty and like epic adventure. Like it sounded like that, but like we're sitting here like fighting regular Shinra grunts, and I'm just like, damn, this sounds amazing right now.
The first actual boss, Scorpion boss, the music. My god,
Oh yeah, and then you hear that music. I remember Genova. Like I said, like when before you get to her part, we're gonna skip that part. We're not on that yet. Right when we get to like Genova, like before you hear it faintly, and then you start fighting her, and then there's a different battle theme, and then she has like 3 phases. Once you get to that 3rd phase, then you start hearing the Genova theme coming in, and I was like, oh, like I had to pause and stop. Like, this sounds great.
It was normal. I was like, pause. I was like, oh my god, the music.
Like,
I think one time I got really emotional with the music is when you first meet Aerith. Well, not first meet Aerith. I mean, you fall down Aerith church area, and then you have a talk with her, and then other stuff, and you just get to like set up, and just like the music of Aerith's theme kicks in, like slightly faintly in the background. I was just like looking around, like, oh my god,
and that's like,
I'm about to cry.
Like it was a smart thing with the music, like rather than just be like, okay, this is this theme, this is this song. They would always they would either have like some type of remix, and like within that remix, you can just faintly hear the original score in them, so you could just know it's like, oh, that's that thing, like, oh, that's that song. But it's like this remix that like you couldn't really tell at first, but then like once you start really listening to it, you're like, oh, that's that song, and then like this sounds amazing, and then like you get to another part, and they actually do play that song, and now you're just as hype as before when they already played the song, but it sounded a little different, and with the music, it's also like it's a weird thing too, because there's like they'll have fully orchestra things like music, then sometimes they have like electronic sounding music, and then you had like Japanese future bass techno type music, like the remix to Aerith theme, right when like Tifa and Aerith starts beating up the guys in Don Canero's place, and like you had that future bassy like type sound like of Aerith's theme, and it was like, even with these different styles, everything sounded amazing. Like it never was like, oh, that was a weird fit. Like this doesn't fit. Like this style.
It was never a moment where I was like, oh, music, okay.
Yeah, like music was just 100. Like,
you could tell the music was there, and it was popping. The music all over again.
One of my favorite chapters was the Jessie chapter.
Oh, yeah, that was a good chapter.
That was a really good chapter, and a really like good way to like create character build.
Yeah.
Like before this game, we knew jack squat about Jessie, and now she just has like this full blown character. She was like if we're gonna go through like waifu wars, she was top for me. Like I preferred Jessie. Like anytime she was like, hitting on Cloud and stuff, I'm like accept her advances, you freaking introverted ass.
Erica Lingbeck, good job.
Yeah, she did a really good job. I always whenever I hear her voice, I'm always just like, oh, like because like a lot of times there's sometimes like she's one of the voices I don't want to hear a lot, because I always feel like I'm gonna associate her with with the character that I know. But like this, like at first I hear Futaba. Now I'm like I hear Jessie.
I haven't even met Futaba yet, so it didn't affect me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like I'm so like used to the Futaba, but like that's the thing, and then it's like I hear Jessie now, so like this is like her voice is Jessie, like Jessie voice, Erica Lambert. Like that's what I hear now, and like she was such a good character.
Did a really good job on bringing these characters to life.
And then like even when like you go into like the house, and then like you're like, okay, we're just breaking in. Like she's like, okay, I want you to break into the house. Then you're like, okay, whatever. Go in, break in. You open the door, and then you're like, oh, that's her dad.
Oh.
Oh wow. And like her dad's sick. And then you start looking through the room, and then even just looking through the room, now you're getting even more lore from her. And you read the note, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing fine at the Gold Saucer, being an actress. Here's some tickets so you can come see me. And it's like, wait, she was an actress?
Yeah.
And now now it makes sense why they can walk up in there with all their armor and stuff like that, because like she's an actress, so like her mom's not gonna really question it. Like, why do you have like battle armor on?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that makes sense now. Like, yeah, I'm an actress, so like we're just in costume, so like yeah, we just came from whatever, doing whatever, like play or whatever. So, and like just having like this whole thing of building lore with her, and then it's like you build the lore. Not only do you build the lore, you make this like strong connection with Cloud, who's like the main character. Like she's constantly giving advances, and you can even tell with Cloud. And I know you actually have the option, like once you get back to her house and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, you should come by later, blah blah blah. And then you could be like, not a chance, and just like shut it down, or you can just be like, huh, we'll see. like no promises. And then at that point, like she gives you a hug and everything, and it's like, this is an amazing way to create a blank slate and then make it something and someone that's we truly care about.
Yeah.
So then once you get to that point, because then you got to that point of being at the tower, and then you knew what was coming up, and like at the moment you're like because you're not really sure with the whole Arbiter of Fate thing and everything like that, and you're just kind of like, maybe she could survive, maybe they'll change things this time. And then like you see her winning, and like you're like, oh, she's winning, but something's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? And then it comes, and then you're like, ah, dang. And I literally, like, my friend, like, she was watching my stream, and like this is the first time like she actually like joined the stream, like was when I was doing this part. And when I was doing the part for when they all died and stuff on the tower. And I asked her, I was like, you ever play Final Fantasy VII? She's like, no. She's like, she never, like, she knew about it, but she never played it and stuff like that. So like I'm going through this part and stuff like that, and like I'm sitting there, I'm getting emotional, and she's like, wow, I'm crying. She's like, I'm in tears. So she's like in tears right now. I thought she was talking about me. And she's like, no, I'm in tears watching this right now. Like, this is sad as fuck. And I was like, it's crazy how like I was like, you don't even know, like you haven't even built this character, but you got to this point and you can see the emotional connection that she has. Like without even going through.
It hit me so hard.
Like yeah, like I was like crying because I was like, oh, like even knowing that was gonna happen, still like made us emotional. And as I say, like you can just feel and see like that emotional connection. Like that was a great character. Hopefully she may be in the next game if she's still alive.
But how do you do this? Where?
Liv, that was so great. And like I said, like this whole chapter, like I just liked. I like the quick little advances. And I don't know if you know this. There is a secret thing that she could do in chapter 6. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. On the bike. On the bike. You know, after you beat the bike segment, and she was like, she's like, oh, why did you go easy? Why did you go easy? And then he was like, cause you're riding. And she's like, oh, you just went easy cause I'm sitting here, blah, blah, blah. And you don't have to take care of me, like stuff like that. Remember she says like to that point, if you finish the bike segment with at least 80% health or higher, she actually gives Cloud a kiss.
Oh.
So it's like, if you do good, she'll actually like lean over and like kiss him on the cheek or whatever. And she says something, I can't remember what she says. But yeah, which is also a trophy. So if you want a platinum, you have to get her to kiss you. But yeah, again, just like back to what you're saying, like just extra things. But then those extra things actually being a part of character building, and then it's like this whole time I did want to see her kiss Cloud, like even like just like a cute kiss like that, like just on the cheek, because I thought she's gonna do that. After all of that, when she had hugged him, I thought she was gonna kiss him because I was like, oh, she's gonna kiss him now, and she just like did like a hug or whatever, and try to make her move. Obviously, it failed because he's only thinking about Tifa.
Everyone asks about his relationship. It's funny.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Like you build on it, and like you ask about the relationship, and then not only everybody was asking about like his relationship with Tifa. Tifa even asks his relationship with Aerith when they're in the sewer, and he was like, oh, it's just a girl that I met, and he's like, are you sure? Is that it? And then it's like that also helps you, like us as the player, like Cloud, he's just oblivious, so he's not like noticing. But that also like helps build the character for us to even more realize like. It's like Tifa, okay, you actually do kind of like him. You do like him. Like, before we can tell, but it's more of a, like, not a thing that's out there. It still can be, like, a friend thing, but you can tell, like, you like him. But, like, even, like, once you get to that point, like, that type of questioning and stuff like that, you're like, yeah. Like, that's one thing, too, like, she asks him like, oh, what should I dress? And then she goes and dresses that way for him. And then like when you're down in the basement, she's like, oh, what do you think? Like if you go to her, she's like, oh, what do you think? And you're like, she like turns around and stuff. And so it's like, like helping the player like see like, okay, this girl has feelings for this guy. But you can tell like, you're not really sure where his mind is. Like I said, he has a mental with Tifa of comfortable. So it seems like if that's like a relationship, it's more of a relationship that would just like, he would just be like, oh yeah, okay, let's make it happen or whatever. Because he just has that comfort of friendship that he's been around with for so long. And he's just very just like socially awkward guy. Doesn't really know how to talk to anybody else. But then Aerith comes around, and Aerith is that kind of guy that's like breaking him out of it, like with the whole high fives, and then he's just kind of like, no, and then she just keeps doing it, like yeah, high five, and then you're kind of like forced to do it. Because I still like when I got to that point when like you have to hit triangle to do it. I was like, I wonder if I could just not do it, but I was like, she's standing in the way and I can't get through, so I was like, I have to give it a high five, and it's just like high five.
I like that.
And then like you could kind of like see where he's kind of like warming up to Aerith in the way
he tried to high five at one point.
Yeah, so like you can see like it's building something there. So now it can kind of create that kind of like romance thing with that, so you can have that whole love triangle thing going on. Because from the beginning, it's not there. You can just see him just like, okay, this girl's weird. And even still, even after building on it, he's still kind of like one-track mind. He's still kind of like, all right, I don't want to do none of this stuff right now. I need to get back to Sector 7. And it's like he doesn't have a reason to get back to Sector 7 really, other than to get his money. Because he doesn't really have a place to like live. Like he's like staying at that like apartment place or whatever, but like he doesn't really have a place to stay. Like just like Tifa asked in the beginning of the game, she was like, are you gonna stay here? And he was like, I guess I'll just stay here, save up some money or whatever, and then figure out what to do next. So he didn't have a reason to get back to Sector 7, but he really wanted to, like when Aerith was around. So it was that thing of kind of like pushing the Tifa narrative stronger there. So just slight little things you pick up on. And it's like I like that about this game. It had a whole lot of just like
personality.
It had the personality. It had like little things of like if you played through it the first time, like it's just a thing, that just a story part. But when you play through the second time, you start noticing like, oh, like that happened, like that's part of his personality, that's part of her personality, and stuff like that. And it's like really, really cool. And you could tell like they really took like a lot of time just trying to like really create and flesh out all of these characters' personality.
Well, I popped on to the characters. What part that I had? Music.
When we let's speak about the fourth waifu. we have Tifa, we have Aerith, we have Jessie, and now we have our fourth waifu, Mr. Filler Arc, Roche.
Wait, what?
Roche, he is our fourth waifu. He is one character that was very just like, what? He shows up twice, but it's literally back to back in the same chapter, like literally 10 minutes away from each other. And he serves little purpose. Like I thought, like when they first when they announced him and talked about him and stuff like that, I thought he was gonna play on more to like Cloud's memories, where like he's a third class soldier and Cloud keeps saying he's a first class soldier, and I thought like that was gonna like play on more, and like he kind of just like brushed it off, like he's like, yeah, I'm first class. And Roche is like, oh yeah, I'm third class, so maybe that's why I don't know you. And it's like, like wait, what? Like you don't, like they could have went more into detail. Like he could have been like, wait, like you're first class? Like I don't, like I should know who you are. I've never heard of you. Like, are you sure you're first class? You're just somebody like faking it or something like that. Blah blah. Like that could have been more of a thing. But instead, they kind of just was like, oh yeah, whatever. Let's fight now. I want to fight you. You seem like a good fighter. And then you fought him on a bike, and then you fought him 10 minutes later, and then that was it.
I don't get the character.
So we had that character, and it was like that was filler arc. Like that was a sound ninja in Naruto. Like he was like the most sound ninja ever.
Sound like a ninja, Jesus. Third class, and he fucked up everyone else just to help Clown fight him again.
And like I said, that was just so pointless. We had the other filler arc character. Like, I mean, he had more purpose, but Chadley, and he was so Nomura, like that design. I was like, why does this look like a freaking Nomura design? Like this does not look like Final Fantasy. This is like something Nomura. It was like,
it was just to serve battle
like,
things.
Cool, like weird looking Kingdom Heartsy character, but designed as a Final Fantasy character, and it's like
they get you summons and shit.
Like he served purpose, but he was just weird with his little Google glass and bandana thing, and it's just like, this is a weird guy. And then like, if you can talk to him while Cloud has a dress on. Foreshadowing how it comes in. You can talk to him while Cloud has a dress, and he is just like, he's just the most weird and awkward. Like Cloud comes up to him and he was like, man, you're making eye contact with me. I'm so embarrassed. And it's like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you weird? It's like, oh my god, and he's weird from the beginning. Like before you even talk to him, you walk by him, and then he just like analyzing new subject or whatever. Like he just repeatedly says that every time you walk by him, and you're like,
Chaplin.
Like who the freak is this guy?
How did he get here? How did he get around?
So like at least he serves more purpose than Roche. Because Roche was just like literally there just to fight you twice and then just leave. And
oh, this guy, he's third class. He has a bike.
And it's like, oh yeah, he has a bike. Oh, he's so rebellious because he attacks the other soldier members and other Simber members. Ooh, what? Like, What purpose? Why? It's like you just kind of did. It was cool action moments with Roche. Like it's like okay, cool bike scene, cool fighting scene, but it didn't serve story purpose. It was just there.
No, it didn't serve anything.
Yeah, it was cool filler arc. Let's get into the war market.
Oh yeah, bull market.
Well, just the war market as a whole was just a freaking amazing town. I feel like I was freaking
So
playing
colorful.
I feel like I was playing Yakuza. Like I legit feel like I was like in Yakuza. Like I was like, yo, this is a freaking Yakuza game right now. We're just like going around, just like doing random missions in freaking I was about to call it Akihabara.
I got lost times.
The first time I was playing it, I was like lost. I was like, where am I right now? I was like, there's a lot of just like narrow like back areas and stuff. Like it was like really Japanese. Like you just had like so many just like alleyways and stuff. And like back areas and things. Like it felt like you was like in Japan. Like it was really cool. I like that. Like just
Sam.
just the environment was just fun to be in. And then we go in. We know the whole story. We need dresses for we need a dress for Aerith. So we talked to Madam M.
That scene with Madam M when she does the massage for you was awkward but cool.
The
awkward but
whole
awesome at the same time.
The whole wall market is just sexual innuendos the whole time. That's why we have you have basically the sex parlor with Madam M, which is a masseuse, quote unquote masseuse, I'm doing air quotes, parlor. You had the nightclub, quote unquote club.
Cloud's voice acting in that part was amazing.
But yeah, you get a hand massage for Madam M.
That apparently didn't come.
It was just a happy ending. We already know. So we got the hand massage. Then we need to get the dress for Aerith, which is a million gil. So then we go to the Coliseum. Well, yeah. No, you're right.
That was
so
a cool scene. Coliseum, right? Coliseum. They like boo them. Like, oh, look at this couple.
I liked I liked the progression with that. Again, character building, and that's just character building with the audience.
The final fight.
You had like everybody boo, whatever, boo. We don't want no couples here, la la la. And then like as it kept going and going, and you get people more cheering, like yeah, Cloud and Earth, awesome. And then it's like, oh, we have a bonus fight, and I already knew what it was. Freaking Hell House.
Hell House was amazing.
That was amazing. Hard as shit.
It was funny and amazing.
But that was freaking a great fight. And it was like, well, how did y'all pull this off and make it?
I never got that material.
Oh, you never went back there? Yeah, I went back there because I was seeing, like, when I went to the side mission and guy was like, everybody's sick and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, everybody is sick. Why is everybody sick? This guy are sick. But yeah, Hell House was just freaking amazing. I'm trying to find it on here.
Fucking swap people. There it is. How the hell do you do this?
Freaking, he was hard as shit. Like he had so many barriers, and then he kept changing. Like every time he would go up, then he would change his weakness. And I was like, damn, I hate this. I love it so much.
Well, I never got hard edge to the end.
You said you never got what?
Hard edge.
Oh, you didn't get hard edge. Oh yeah, I got hard edge a little bit earlier, I think. But I think I didn't get the double blade, the twin blades until like the end. After you fight the Hell House, that's when Aerith goes in the back, goes off of Madam M, so they can do her stuff. And then this is when the best side quests in the whole game are, and I'm glad that all of the other side quests were just like very minimum, very just like, you know, they were fine. Some were fine, some were good, some were just eh. But then we get to these side quests, and these were the most fun. You had the freaking squat challenge mini game, which is just fun. And I didn't even realize that you could do more levels, so I didn't get that trophy. So I have to go back and get that trophy. I did get the pull-up trophy, which was later in the game when we came back here and did all of the ones. Cool. But I didn't do all the ones for the squat ones. But yeah, these challenges are the first one is super easy. But once when you have to fight, I can't remember his name, Jules, big bro. Then that's when it's just like literally he only stumbles once. He'll stumble once and that's it. After he stumbles, he's just in full motion, like the whole time, getting faster and faster and faster. And you just have to always just keep up. And if you don't keep up, you're gonna fail. Like if you stumble more than once, you're failing. It's an automatic fail. You're not gonna. There's no way.
I wasn't good at it.
And like, and that thing goes like, and it's longer, and it's like it goes super fast. And then like, and you also have the when you go against Jules, you get tired, so then you have to like smash on the button. So like you'll go in circle, and then you have to like smash circle until like the thing goes all the way around circle, and then it starts moving again. So like you got that slowing you down, and it's just like so many different things, and it's so fun. Like I said, I don't need to pull up one, but the whatchamacallit one, I gotta do the squat one. What'd you say?
How did you do it?
Which one?
Either.
I did the squat. I completed the squat one.
How the fuck did you?
It took a long time. Like it was. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I can't beat this man. Like I cannot beat this. Let me see if this person does it. Yeah, like as I say, like
stumbles really early and then.
Yeah, like he stumbles early, and then after he stumbles early, he just goes.
Yeah.
And like when I say when I was doing that pull up thing, like I was literally like a lot of times like I was either like I can't remember like what number we was getting to. I think he was getting to like 30 something or 40 something. Like it'll be like he'll have 33 and I'll have 32, or I'll have 33 and he would have 33 and I would still lose. And I was like, fuck.
Oh, he has to go like mashing pots too, though.
Yeah, he has it.
He's already up to 20.
But then, as I said, but then he just starts going.
Hello.
And like, okay, so he stumbled twice on it. Okay, I think with the pull-up one, I think he only stumbles once. I think he only stumbles once, but then I think he does like the mashing part a little bit more. But it's still like I said, like it's still like you can't stumble like more than once. If you do, like if you stumble once, you're having a hard time. I don't even. You probably might not be able to get it if you stumble once.
You won't.
Yeah. So like you're having a hard time.
You stumble 3 times.
But yeah, it was fun though. So you had that side mission. Then my favorite side mission of this whole game
with Johnny.
Was Johnny, and like one reason why it was my favorite is because it's the same exact side mission from the original game when you want to get the perfect dress. If you want to get the best dress for Cloud, everything that you're doing here, you had to do. You had to go to the old man in the bar, and he's mad. So because his thing.
Does this determine your dress?
You said what?
Does this determine your dress?
In the original game, it's for the dress. But this is just a side mission. In the original game, this is how you get the perfect dress.
How do you get different dresses for Cloud then?
Oh, in this game,
Yeah.
it's a lot of different things you have to do. You have to choose. You have to choose the different massage things for Madam M, and then there's other things that you have to
Which one did
do.
you choose?
So you gotta look it up. It's not as easy as Tifa and Aerith's.
Which one
Tifa is
did you choose?
which one I had? Oh, which?
Massage, yeah.
Oh, I had the most expensive one.
You're damn right you did. I did too.
I just did it because I didn't want Madam M to judge me because she seemed like she was judgmental. And I was like, if I pick the poor man one, I feel like she's gonna be judgy and be like, "Oh, you want the poor person one? Okay." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna pick the richest
Well,
one."
dresses for Tifa are obvious, but what about Aerith?
Dress for Tifa is just to do all the side missions. Aerith is just depends on how many side missions you do. If you do no side missions, you get like the plain looking dress. You can actually pull that up right now for the
So we got
for
the
the
trailer
video
dress.
use.
They did all cycling, apparently.
So no, not Aerith Death, Aerith Dress.
Oh.
So if you do none of the side missions in Sector 5, you get the like this plain looking
And
dress.
no one's around.
And yeah, like nobody's around, just some cats. And Johnny's trying to like prop her up and make her feel better or whatever. And like she's kind of like shy about it and stuff like that. I mean, it's a cute looking dress. It doesn't look bad. I mean, it looks plain. But it doesn't look bad. And then if you do like some of the side missions, you get this dress where like there's some people around. It's a little bit yeah, I guess it's nicer. I'd say kind of like the first dress better, but no, that one's probably a little nicer. Yeah, the bottom more, and she got the heels and everything.
We did all quests, so we got.
Yeah, and then if you do all quests, you get the elaborate. I love how like just over the top it is for no reason. Like I didn't ever realize like when I first watched it, like while I was playing, like it just happened. But when I watched it back with the other two, I was like, this is weird, like comically like over the top. Like why is there like just people crowding around her with firecrackers, and then like Johnny rolls out the break conference. It's like it's just OD for no reason. But it was like it's Final Fantasy VII, like it's Final Fantasy VII, and this is like the part to be silly at. So, so yeah, and then you get that, and then like Cloud's just like you can tell like, oh, he actually does have hormones. He actually does get a hard on for girls.
It's not flat.
So then after Aerith gets her dress, well, before you get that, we jumped the gun.
Go back.
This side quest, because I love the side quest. It's freaking.
This is the only time when you use materia to do shit.
Yeah, and it's so funny. It's so out of nowhere. You got the clothing store owner. He's drunk as shit. He thinks Johnny's his son, and he's like, son, you always look this stupid and this idiotic.
You're doing a good job.
And yeah, Yeri, of course, like Yeri, we just know the voice, but like Yeri did a great job. Like Yeri was Johnny, like he was just super Johnny. And like I love this new version of Johnny, because Johnny was such a nothing character in the original Final Fantasy. Like he was just this guy in Midgar, and then you saw him in the Wall Market, and then you see him at Costa del Sol, and that's when he had a bit of more of an impact there, and it was still small because at least Tifa was like, oh, Johnny, I haven't seen you in a long time. Cloud, leave me alone because I want to talk to Johnny. And then, like, after that was it. But, like, after that, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, nobody cared about Johnny. That's why so many, when people talk about this game and talk about the remake, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the new character Johnny." It's like, actually, no, he's not new. He's in the other game. Nobody just knew him. But yeah, and I love like every time you leave.
The only new character, Catholic.
Every time you leave from talking to one person, Johnny's just running to the next place, and like you just hear him just blurting out random shit.
It's funny.
And he's like, "Hey, we gotta go get the materia guy." Blah, 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 blah. Then we go to the materia guy, and then like, they're talking to him. I know he was the guy. In the original game, he asks you to go to the vending machine so you can get, which I can't remember what it was called, but basically in the original game it was Viagra. That's what it was. And here they call it the sauce. He's like, wait. Johnny's like, wait, the sauce. The sauce? Stop saying the sauce.
Stop saying the sauce.
Stop saying the sauce. Like this the whole part is just funny. And then you have to use the assess materia, and then like Cloud just pulls out the materia, just like
stop rubbing it.
Yeah, just like just rubs. And then depending on the how many types that you assess, which you should be assessing all of the time.
I got really close. I got a half.
Then you would have a bunch, and then you'll get lucky, and then you'll get all three of the things, and eventually get the sauce.
I got two of them.
Oh. Okay, well maybe maybe you didn't get as lucky then.
Maybe.
Because it was something crimson drink something, and then the sauce. And then I love like Johnny was like, "Oh, we got to put it away before somebody sees us. We can't let nobody know we have it." And then the vending machine's like, "You are the grand prize winner." Yeah, that part just had me dying. It's like, we can't let nobody have it. We're the grand prize winner.
God damn it.
And then you go back to the guy, you give him the sauce. After that, he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't have the thing. I gave it to the Korean shop guy."
Oh yeah, bitch, fuck off. I don't have it.
So then you go to the shop guy, and then again, it's the literal same thing. I mean, the only difference with the shop part was you had because in the shop, in the original one, you can order food, and you had to pick the special Korean barbecue or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
And this one,
this one you just had to choose the fire, either fire, ice, or thunder for the heater, freezer, or stove. A heater, freezer, or electric.
Which was my fire materia.
All of mine was level 2, so
my fire was level 3 because I kept using it.
No.
Badass.
But
I fight the fire.
I guess you just needed a level 2 though. I don't know what happens if you had like a level 1 or whatever. Because
Johnny eats it.
Because he had the food.
Like cramp or dies.
Then he gets sick, and then he runs out, and I literally love the thing that he says as soon as you run out, and then he's just like, "Drugs! I need all the drugs right now."
I like that.
And I was like, "Oh."
Hit the door.
He's like, "Out of the goddamn way! I can't go on." It's like, oh my god, I love this character. And then then you run into the pharmacist guy.
He got stuck on there.
I saw that. He gets stuck.
Go help someone.
And then you help somebody. I seen a couple of people stream that had issues with this. This was just second nature to me. Even Max had a hard time. Like he wasn't he was like, "Oh, who do I need to go to?" I was like, "Max should know this. He knows Final Fantasy VII on the back of his hand." Like as soon as I did, I went immediately to the bathroom because I was like, "Yeah, this is exactly what you had to do in the original game."
I couldn't remember where a bathroom was. I just went to the nearest fucking restaurant.
I just remember because I was like, "Oh yeah, bathroom." There you go. Because I don't know why I remember this side quest in the original game so much for some reason. Probably because I always try to get the perfect dress. But and it's like really hard to just like know this in the original. It wasn't something that just like guided you through this. Like you just had to figure this shit out on your own. So yeah, this great side quest. Loved it. Johnny's great. Makes him a great character. So after that, we see the dress with Aerith. And then
you do the ultimate best part of the game.
And then we play Project Diva.
Yeah.
And first off, you do the little practice area.
It's so out of character for Cloud.
Before we get to that, when you're in the Honeybee Inn, this person didn't do it. So this person didn't do it.
What?
You can go into one of the rooms and you see Johnny's dad in one of the rooms, and he's just drunk as shit. And there's like a Honeybee Inn girl, and she's like shaking her ass in front of him, and she's just like, "What motion am I doing?" And then you have to choose what motion she's doing, and the 4 motions are triangle, circle, cross, and square. And I was like, oh, it's like it's a PlayStation controller. I was like, that's a cool just nod to this being exclusive for a little bit. I was like, that's probably not going to work as well once the Xbox and PC version come out. But yeah. But she was actually doing a motion with her butt. So I don't know if they're going to change that much. They probably just keep it the same. But I hated that part because I got it wrong like all 3 times because I had no idea what the freak she was doing with her butt. I was like, it just looks like you're moving it. That can be literally a circle, square, or triangle. I don't know which one you're doing right now. I can't remember what it was, but I eventually got it. But yeah, Johnny's dad was just like drunk. And then he was just like, what are you still doing here? Get out of here. I'm trying to have a good time. Whatever. And then you just leave.
And it's like it fits Cat Cloud in a way.
I love that this part was just did not feel like Cloud.
Yeah.
I loved it. It did not fit this Cloud, but I can see this happening in the original game and it just feeling more natural. This felt so unnatural that it was great. And
it was really great.
The first practice part, like he's just like swinging his sword and stuff. He's like, because when they was like, okay, you need to learn how to dance, and he's swinging the sword, and I was like, okay, yeah, that would be.
Would just like help the Afro.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, that would be what Cloud would do. He would just swing his sword around while like After Effects, like effect motions is going around him. I was like, yeah, like he wouldn't dance or nothing. And
then the next.
And I love this music. It was like a EDM future-based remix to Let the Battle Begin battle theme, and I was like, this is probably like the best version I've heard. Between that and that first orchestrated Tales of version from the beginning, between those two, I love those 2 versions. But then we come to the main hall. Everyone's here just watching.
Everyone's crowding around.
And then we get the best cutscene in video game history.
I wonder how much like that took to do.
And not only did like it just happen for like 2 seconds, it kept going on and on and on. And this is the one time where something kept going on and on and on, and I was like,
I don't want it to end.
Please keep going and just let it go. I'm surprised there wasn't a side, like either a side quest or a bonus thing with this. And then like Aerith, she's just like, you know,
she's loving it.
She's just like all of the juices just gushing out right now.
Please don't say that.
At the end, she literally just has an orgasm attack, and she's just like, and it's just like, are you okay? You good?
Yeah, we're in Project Diva.
And then you're playing freaking Project Diva. Did you do good on this? How did you do on this?
I did mostly good, yeah.
I think I did a I didn't do a miss, but I got a good on one of them. Just because it was hard to keep up with these freaking camera angles.
It was
With the camera angles and then like the way that the little thing is going to the things, it's hard.
Weird, yeah.
Like I as a person who plays rhythm games, it was the worst rhythm game I've ever played. But in the like content of this story and everything, it was great. It was the best part in the whole game.
Can you replay this?
You said what?
I didn't check. Can you replay this?
What do you mean?
The mini game.
No, you can't. I was about to say that. Yeah, it's surprising that it wasn't like a replayable thing, like the pull-ups and the doing the crunches and stuff. Like you can do those as many times as you want to, but you can only do the dance once. I guess in the character of Cloud, why would he go and do it again? He has no reason to do it again, and he wouldn't want to.
Well, in the context of the gamers.
Yeah, like in the context of Cloud, like he would be like, no, I'm not doing it again. Like in the context of him doing squats, he would do squats again. He would play darts and stuff all the time. So he would do those type of things. He would go to the Coliseum all the time. So he would do those things repeatedly, but he's not going to dance again. Who taught him the dance moves? Who taught him this choreography? How does he know?
He taught himself.
How does he know this shit?
The soldier first class. What do you expect?
And I hope even though it's nothing in this like next part of like the original Final Fantasy VII, I hope in part 2 it just either gets brought back up or something just happens where he has to dance. like in Gold, like you go to Gold Saucer or whatever, and like they're like, oh, somebody needs to dance.
I can't wait to see what Gold Saucer is like.
And then like Cloud's like, yeah, we're not doing that. And then Aerith is like, oh, I know someone who can dance. and then he's just like, not a word. Like either something like that or like actually have to do it. And like when you go on the date or whatever, and like whoever you choose on your date, whether it be Aerith, Tifa, or Barrett, then they're like, I want to see you dance.
Damn it.
And then you have to dance with the person, and if you're with Barrett, you have to dance with Barrett. You see, I'm giving Square and Nomura some good ideas. Yeah, better be taking notes. Better be like, yeah, let's add that. Go to the dance part.
The hokey thing I saw here is like he already had the dress on.
Yeah, he already has the dress on. Once they put the fans in front of him, he has the dress on.
And the pigtails and everything. Like what?
And you see this where she's having an orgasm, and then there you go. Then you have the perfect dress. How did they get the dress on? Though? And in terms of story, how did he was sitting down? How did you get the dress on?
She's like,
and Aerith, she's like, ha 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 ha. Like, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you doing fine? You need a breather.
He's not doing fine. Mako magic, that's how they did it.
It's the Mako energy. Like,
I you can see his fucking muscles through his dress. And he's still dancing.
And then he's still dancing, and then that's when we get the trailer part where he comes up close to him. It's like,
oh, you get to take control of Aerith.
And then you take control of Aerith for like 2 seconds so she could just tease Cloud.
I wish we could take control of her longer.
I don't know what this person's doing here.
I hope they do that in part 2 where you can just change your character out of battle character.
Yeah, because there's times where I wanted to be Tifa. There was times where we was playing as Aerith when Tifa was around, and I'm like, why are we playing as Aerith? Like,
that's an addition they add.
Because in like in the 2 parts that happened, it made more sense to be Tifa in both of those parts. But it was Aerith in both of those parts. But then later, with Tifa, and I was like, oh, I guess it makes sense now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
like,
one thing I hope. Have like able to change her out of battle.
This person's about to talk to Chatley, and this for everybody who's watching the video version of this podcast. So yeah, when you talk to Chatley with the dress, he's like just weird. He's just like super weird about it. He's experiencing an emotional response.
Charlie, listen, what a boner.
Yeah, this emotional response. Like everything in freaking Walmart was an innuendo for like some type of sexual thing, and it's great.
Amazing.
I loved it. But yeah, then we finally get here. Of course, the what's this freaking other character? He was kind of one of the good. Leslie was his name. Leslie, like Leslie, Madam M, Chocobo Sam, and Andrade. I don't know how to say his name. Andrea. We say his name. They were really good side characters. Like that's how you even make one-offs. They wasn't too important, but they were still like big and consequential to the story, and it made sense. They needed to be there. They didn't need to be there, but they needed to be there. Like, like that's how you do it. Much better than Roche. Like, but yeah, then you get here.
Funny how Leslie recognizes Cloud.
Because they kind of told him what they was doing.
Yeah.
So he kind of knew that they was gonna do it. And
I like that Cloud was every time he just has his hands like this in front of him.
And that's why he was just kind of like, I hope I get no check into, because I doing this is crazy. Because
I could barely hear these guys too with the mask. It's cool. It's funny.
And then then it gets it gets dark here. He's just poisoning it, and then we got Tifa. Oh, this person chooses the
traditional.
This was mature, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
And then because the trailer one was exotic, I chose sporty. You said you got sporty too, right?
I chose sporty.
Yeah, I liked. At first, I liked the exotic the best, but then once I seen it more, I was like, nah. I was like sporty. I was like that.
I like
fits
sporty and
that fits her more.
I like sporty and mature.
Yeah.
Mature looks nice.
Oh, you don't like exotic? You don't like exotic? No, this is
no.
This is mature.
Yeah, I like mature.
Oh, you like this one, like the Komodo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like sporty and exotic.
Exotic.
This one's fine, but like exotic is the canonical one because that's what she had. She had the purple dress on in the original. But
screw the original. The original.
But
you know that now.
This one's fine. I mean, it looks good. It looks good on her with like as a Komodo on her.
I kind of wish those costume changes for the game, even if they don't make sense.
In this context of her trying to woo over this guy, you would do a little bit more that would, show your parts and show your figure and stuff like that a little bit more. So, like looking at this compared to Aerith, like Aerith is the clear choice here, but like the other ones is a little bit more of a.
Aerith is a clear choice, but he goes for Cloud anyway. And Cloud doesn't show shit.
He likes the muscles. So yeah, he chooses Cloud.
I kind of wish that they had like costume changes in the game so you could change their dresses. It wouldn't make sense, but it'd be funny.
Yeah, I mean that'll probably be too much for the, like this is a lot to animate. We can't do this.
Nah, just whatever.
And then the Dawn comes, be super creepy.
Dawn is always creepy. I like how they just
like touching on clouds.
Yes, muscular. I'll take him. He's gonna fuck me hard.
That's it. He wanted something rough. Now I don't know if, depending on the dresses, if there is other options for like other like if Don can choose other people like in the original, because you know he doesn't need to always choose Cloud in the original. He'll choose Tifa or Aerith sometimes, depending on the dress that Cloud has. But in this, I don't know how that works. And it's and then the weird thing is when we skip, so they're gonna break out. They break out. Very cool fashion way. When they come and they give Cloud his clothes back, and like Cloud is like getting undressed, like he like Don Cornero looks so unbothered. He looks very intrigued. It's like,
Yeah.
Huh? But he doesn't look upset. He just looks.
No, he doesn't.
Like he's just surprised that it's a man, and then like his response after that is, "Oh, so you're a man, huh? So what do y'all three want?" It's like he would not have cared if it was a man. Like if anything would have happened, he would be like, "Oh, even better."
Oh, that was fucking amazing.
This is what I wanted. But yeah, this whole part was just great. And then of course we had,
Like cutting off his balls.
we had the part where I forgot about that part. We did have the part where cut off the balls, which is from the original game, so that's cool that they kept that. And
Funny, because Aerith was on the left for me.
you said what?
Aerith was on the left for me, not the right.
Huh, really? Is that thing? Yeah, Tifa was on the left for me. Yeah, Tifa was on the left for me because I remember like that.
Not for
Yeah,
me.
I went to the left. What did Aerith say to you? You chose Aerith, right?
Yeah, I chose Aerith.
What did she say when you woke her up?
I think she was just talking about what happened.
Oh, okay.
She didn't say too much.
Okay. Tifa questions Aerith. This is where the part also. Okay, so yeah, you didn't. I guess you wouldn't have seen that part. You wouldn't have seen this part then.
No.
So yeah, Tifa's like, yeah, I didn't want to drag Aerith in here, and then she's like, so what is it with y'all? Yeah, how do y'all know each other?
Yeah, you get more of Tifa.
And
She's like Aerith says a few lines, and then Tifa wakes up.
And as I said, she's like, she saved me, I saved her. And that's what she's like, is that all to it? Sure, there isn't something else going on. But then Aerith gets up before they go. And it's like, I love that conversation just because it's like that really hits to you like, okay, yeah, Tifa has feelings. This is why she's questioning this like this. Like anybody else, if you're just like, oh yeah, she saved me, I saved her. And you're like, oh, okay. But she's like, are you
And then this boss fight was fucking cool.
And then
I like the model and how he looks. The tongue.
So after all this, one other great part that is added in.
Train graveyard.
Train graveyard, not added in, but just
Not added in. Just more information.
stretched out. First of all, I was like, is this game turning into a horror game? I was like, I'm about to be scared right now. And then also I had the thought of, this is weird that like Tifa and Aerith are kind of scared because of all of the shit that they've seen and been through. Like you just fought like this big monster sewage thing. Y'all fought other monsters. Like y'all, it's not the first time y'all fought monsters and stuff before. Y'all fight monsters constantly, all of the time. And then you're like, ooh, there's a story about if you're in a graveyard, there's ghosts around. I'm scared. It's like, wait, what? So you're scared of ghosts with big giant monster things that can eat you in like one bite. Nah, we cool with that. We just gonna fight that like normal. But like ghosts is like the most terrifying thing. But yeah, like I like just the whole setup with this. Just first of all, like it is a scary graveyard area, so you create that tension in a moment, like for the player too, not even for the characters, but for the player too. Because like I said, like you're like, is this like turning into a horror thing? Like the doors opening and closing, but then just regular monsters come out. And then that's another thing. monsters just jump out and Tifa's just like, oh, man, don't scare me like that. Monsters, giant bug monster things that look like he's gonna eat us alive. I thought you was gonna, I was so scared. I thought you was ghosts. You're just monsters. Okay.
Fine.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like weird within the context of like the Final Fantasy, but like it's still played. It's still a great part though. Then you have the story going along with like the whole
Kids and everything
the kids
like
and
that.
thing, and then of course it's gonna affect Aerith because she's an ancient, so she can talk with all of the spirits and everything, stuff like that, because she's one with the live stream. And this is a great part. And then I like the whole.
There was a bit before the myth
You said what?
where like Aerith and Tifa are scared to go in and they just start grabbing on Cloud.
Oh yeah, when they grab each other and they hold each other, and then he's like, oh yeah, we're not scared.
Cloud's like,
Yeah,
it'll be nice if you can let me go.
and then he's like, well, if you're not scared, then y'all can just let me go now. Then.
Yeah.
And then like they're still then you have to move, and then like if you don't move, like they're just standing there. And then once you start moving, like he just like like he just like pushes them off.
Get
Like,
off me.
get off me, woman. Ugh.
What are women?
I only care about combat.
Heartless.
So yeah, like just
Thank you,
like
I think.
showing her past and stuff like that, building more onto her character.
And then Cloud coming in saying, we found you. And she's like, found me.
Cause I was super confused at that part, because I was like, cause when she like got taken away, I was like, what the hell? I was like, wait, what's gonna happen with the plate dropping? I was like, the plate's about to drop, right? I was like, wait, we gotta go through a whole like couple more hours of trying to save Aerith. But then I was like, oh, okay, it's just a cutscene. And then the boss here, and something that I didn't know, and I found out about this later. In the original Final Fantasy VII, this boss, if you have the steal materia and you steal from I can't remember how you said the name, Eligor. If you steal from Eligor in the original game, you can get a weapon from him. You get a weapon for Aerith from him, and the same thing happens in this game too. So if you use steal on him in this game, you get a weapon for Aerith.
Damn it.
So, yep. On your second playthrough, you remember to do that.
Aerith got so many goddamn weapons.
Yeah, she does. She already has a lot.
Like, right at the beginning.
Trying to think of what else. What are the things I've been like singing, like a whole lot of stuff that's on my list. What other things you have on to talk about?
I think you went through most of it. I think the next part is Sector 7 Pillar. And after that whole scene was a big thing.
Yeah, hey, we already talked about that. One cool thing that the game does for quality is the time clock. The time clock in the game, it goes so like if you hit pause, you can see the time clock at the bottom left. If you don't touch anything for about 2 minutes, the time clock would turn like gray and it'll stop counting because it knows that you're not playing the game. So it'll give you it actually gives you an accurate time clock, unlike a lot of other games. If you leave it on pause or whatever for 2 hours, you just clocked in 2 hours in the game and you wasn't even playing the game for 2 hours. So
that's nice.
So that's a nice extra not needed thing, but like a nice thing, especially when you're in the world of everybody so curious about like, hey, how long did it take you to beat the game? And it's like, you can say, oh yeah, it took me 60 hours, or like because I had it sitting there while I was watching a movie or went to go eat dinner or whatever. But 39 hours, I think.
On Tifa.
I think I was 39 hours.
Oh, the same time as me.
Something like that. like somewhere between 35 to 39. I think it was 39 though.
Oh, so we clocked in the same amount.
Yeah, because we did basically the same stuff, like all of the same stuff, and then all of the side quests. So yeah,
This whole section was cool as
I
hell.
think that's
Though.
everything. I don't like if we go back to voice acting. Now, everybody did an amazing job. The people who didn't do an amazing job was a lot of the NPCs. There was some, like, I remember near the end of the game, one of the the guy that was missing the chocobos, and he was like, "Oh my god, I need my chocobos," and he like puts his head down, and it's like, wait, what? It's like, what's happening? It's like there was no emotion in that at all. Like that was bad. Out of the main cast, I feel like it wasn't really the voice actor fault and maybe delivery. There's 3 people that I kind of point out. Aerith, sometimes she had delivery that was kind of just like, especially like near the ending, once like all of this stuff was coming together and stuff, and she was like kind of explaining stuff, and she was like, "It's our destiny."
I know. I normally jot that down. Like she's a weird character in general.
And yeah, it was like that's what I said. Like I don't know if it was like direction, because like that could have been direction of like say it like they might have told her like try like don't just say it normal, say it try like kind of weird or say it kind of off or whatever, and it just came off as like reading it kind of flat. I think that's what I said. I don't think it was the voice actress fault. I think it was the direction. Another thing with Sephiroth, he wasn't bad at delivering. I just feel like with Sephiroth, he had too for Sephiroth, and this could be just being used to the original Sephiroth, but like Sephiroth, like he always, to me, is an emotionless character, which plays into his personality in a good way. Like he's emotionless, like anytime he says like "come to the darkness cloud," like he doesn't really have emotion in his voice. He just says those words, and it just sounds menacing. In this one, he sounded like he had emotion. Like there was times where he would say like he was like, "Run, Cloud. You need to live. You need to survive." Like he had like emotion in his voice, and I feel like it didn't play well with the character of Sephiroth, if that makes sense. Like it's just more of a personal gripe more than just like it being bad. Like I feel like if he would have did it a little bit less emotional, it would sound more menacing.
You could also tie that into it is a future Sephiroth, so he's a bit different.
But future Sephiroth, because like obviously this is Sephiroth before Avid Children, because he actually dies in Avid Children, because he never died before into Avid Children. So this is before Avid Children. So even in Avid Children, he still has that very emotionless, menacing sounding like voice and personality. So it's hard to put it with that, because you still have to take. But yeah, like I said, just a personal thing for me. Like I wish he was a little bit less emotion, so it can be more menacing. But either way, he was still great though.
He was still great.
I feel like it didn't near the ending. It didn't bother me as much. I think if like throughout the game, it was kind of like in my mind more. And then the last person that I just didn't like the new voice, I was like, oh, don't like that, is Zach. Like Zach's voice. I was like, oh.
Zach was a bit weird.
I was like, I don't know about that one. I was like, I'm not sure. And then I was like, if we're gonna go about these same voice actors in the future, I'm not sure about that one. I was like, maybe it'll grow on me, but I was like, I don't
We didn't get to hear him that much.
Yeah, and he only said a couple of lines, but like out of the couple of lines, I was like, oh. But I was like, yeah, I mean, it's like it's just for 2 seconds, so I can just see them getting somebody just to like, hey, come here, say these lines. All right, that's it. We're good. But yeah, but all in all, this, I mean, of course, every game has its negatives, but there's so many positives, and no matter what most of the internet says and most of the fan base says, and you see, that's why I like looking at the whispers as the fan base, because like anytime I talk to people, it's like, oh, the game is proving you right. It's proving the theory right. Like you are just whiny, like whiny, complaining people trying to keep when we say we're gonna make a new thing and you're yelling and screaming that you want it the same instead of letting us just create the art. The game is proving you right. Like Nomura is proving you right. Like, yeah, you are just whiny, whatever. So you are the bad guys in this. So I do want to beat you. So like I love that whole ending part. And like
I love the ending.
Everything that it turned into. And I know I probably made you even love it even more, even with like breaking everything ending, down for you.
It's like it's rare that ending makes me go, oh my god.
This is why I really wanted to talk to you about it, because I was like I need to talk to him about it, because I was like I need to talk to some human being about this. I can't talk to nobody because everybody is still like on like chapter 7 and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, play the game faster. Like everybody just
Eric comes in.
So yeah, this one, this person did it the same way Tifa.
Don't know. No, I don't know now. Wait, what did you say?
She said you need help, and she said I don't know if I need help. Don't know if I need.
Okay, yeah, Eric came in for me.
And then for this one, Eric came. See, I had Barrett come.
Yeah, when he got slammed against the thing with Magnet, whatever the fuck it was.
You see, and I never.
That's when Tifa came in.
I didn't know, because I just thought it was Barrett. I thought it was just supposed to be Barrett just because I thought it was playing on the last thing of Barrett, Cloud, and Tifa when we was fighting ourselves. Now Barrett, Cloud, and Tifa. I don't know why I said it in that weird order. I guess I said it in ABC order. But Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett, now they're fighting Sephiroth because they just fought themselves with each other. So now they're fighting him. So I thought it was just supposed to be that way. So then when I saw you doing it and Eric came in, I was like, wait, what the fuck? And I was like, hello. I was like, that's new. That's different. But that's cool, though. Like, just the different things, different ways. And I'm sure a lot of people don't even notice that and won't notice that. And it'll just go over a lot of people's heads. Because a lot of people probably not going to watch another playthrough or see somebody else play it and stuff like that and go through it. So it's cool to see that.
To me, this is like one of the best fucking endings I've seen. Best games I've seen. It's a masterpiece. How did Square do this?
Yeah, it's a great ending.
It's a great way of changing it up and doing a different story.
Yeah, and I was having a conversation with somebody on Twitter yesterday, and they was like, if it didn't end differently, would you? They said if it would have ended the same way as it did in the original, would you be mad? And because I told him I love this ending, and he's like, well, if it ended the original way, would you not like it? Would you be mad? Would you think it's boring? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I was like, I would like it, but I would think it's boring because I was like, you can't. I was like, we had a full,
especially this being only Midgar.
As I say, we had a full 40-hour game with a bunch of like emotion and like character building and stuff like that. I was like, how are you gonna end it with freaking what is the name, Hellbomber or whatever the last machine that you fight, the one that in this game you fight on the motorcycle. I think it's like Hellbomber or something like that. I can't remember. I could be saying wrong. But I was like, how are you gonna end? was like, how do you end this game like this? These emotions, these feelings, this whole journey that we've been on for 40 hours with fighting that machine. And then after fighting that machine, just saying, well, time to leave Midgar and go to the next thing to find Sephiroth, and then just end it there. I was like, that would be boring. I was like, you had to end. I was like, the ending had to be different. I was like, the ending would have been bad. And like, of course, fans would have been like, oh, yep, next thing. But new people would come in and be like, oh, that's it. Like, okay. And like, new people, of course, they know it's a part 2 and stuff. But even still, you're like, oh, that's anti-climatic. Okay. Like, a whole bunch of shit just happened, and then you just fight this random machine.
This is the best possible way they could have ended this.
Yeah, like doing this, like everything. Like, of course, you didn't need that. You didn't need to have the inclusion of the whole changing the destiny and doing all that stuff. But
it was amazing.
Putting it in, and actually, and now your homework, Nate. I just want you, like, when you play it again, to like look for those stuff during the gameplay. Anytime you see the whispers, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, there it is now. Because like the first time you play it, you don't think about that stuff, and then the next time you go through it, you start thinking about it, and you're like, oh yeah, there is a random whisper right there that they show right after Barrett says, Cloud, don't come with us no more, because that's not how the original game goes. Like, there's those things you just don't even pay attention to. So now, stuff like that, like, I love stuff like that. Now you go back, play it again, and then see all of the stuff that you missed, and now things even make more sense, even when they were just slightly confusing. And now everything, like, now the whole game is 100% makes sense. Because, like, there was a lot of times, even us as, like, I would say we're Final Fantasy VII veterans. We playing this game and we're like, what?
Yeah, that was
like,
oh, like, what?
That's different. Oh, I don't understand that. What? And as I say, like, it didn't take me into the middle where I was just theorizing. I wasn't even sure that was even, like, what was going to happen. I was just making a theory in my head. I was like, I feel like they're correcting all of the stuff. Well, I was like, I'm probably wrong in that. I was like, they're probably just something to do with like the ancients and blah, blah, blah. And they're probably part of like the Sephiroth followers and stuff like that. But then like, that's why like the more and more I started seeing it, I was like, nah, I think my theory's right. And then I get to the end and I was like, yep, it's right.
That's right.
So like, that's just really cool. And now I just like this ending because now part 2 is literally anything's on the table. It can be the exact same thing. It could be the same thing with little changes like this one. It could be something completely different.
Who knows?
And who knows? Like, it could be a completely different thing. We might not even go to Calm and have the whole story. It could be something totally different. Like, who knows how it's gonna first of all even start, let alone how the whole game's gonna be.
Might rule out the whole thing of it being a part 3 too.
Yeah. Like, I really think it should only be 2. I feel like the next game should just be the rest of the game to the end till they beat Sephiroth.
I can't wait to see what they do with like characters traveling as well, like doing like chocobo traveling and like the airship traveling and underwater traveling and like the big monster things.
Yeah,
like
there's a lot to do, and I feel like with that.
I want to see how they fight the weapons.
All they need to do, because like they can do one of two things. If they're gonna do a new entire story, they can just do a new entire story and have those stuff that we know just in that and make it make sense.
They might not, for the sake of it being remake.
But they might also. They're probably gonna do the same thing that they did with this. It's gonna be like the same stuff, but a lot of stuff changing and stuff like that. And once they do that, I feel like they don't need to pad it in as much for that one. Yeah. This one needed it because it's Midgar. I feel like instead of trying to make a part 2, part 3, you can make it 40 hours and just not pad it in so much. You can easily
make 2 and 3 40 hours.
Yeah. I'm saying you don't even need a 3. You can make 2 40 hours and it'll be from after they leave Midgar to the end of the game.
I meant you can easily make like 2 and 3
2 and 3 together to make 40
Oh
hours.
yeah. Like put it together. Yeah. Yeah. So like instead of having 3 parts, like the next thing is the
It'll
end
just be
of
the side quest and everything like that. That'll probably pad out your gameplay.
Make the main story 40 hours, because like this was 40 hours with side quests, because we did all of the side quests. We got about 40 hours. So make the main story just 40 hours, and then add all of the side quests and stuff like that. Make the side quests just old stuff that we usually do, like finding the weapons and stuff like that. Getting chocobos, Battle Coliseum, bunch of stuff in Ghost Saucer. There's a lot of things that you don't even need to like really even make up, and like just try to like figure out ways just like to figure out things to make the game longer. You can just literally just take a lot of what's from the original game and then just make that better from the side quest point of view and stuff like that. Make it more fleshed out and story wise, and then the story you could just do whatever you want with the story, whether that be same thing or completely brand new, or same stuff with brand new stuff in it. So but yeah, that's like, I want to see how that's gonna happen. I want to see how they're gonna do. I want to see how the biggest thing is, I want to see how they're gonna do the map, because with the map,
map's huge.
Map is big, but it's big full of nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's very old, it's very archaic, very old school gaming. So now with a newer way where we have open world, would be like Final Fantasy 15, like Witcher 3, stuff like that. So are they gonna handle it in that type of way, where it's more of a condensed map with different areas in it? Or are they going to try to make this huge thing again, where we feel like we're traveling the world, but it's a lot of just nothingness? And I feel like they could make it like 15, but just, they can make it big, but just either put more into the like nothingness between towns, or just make it a little bit more closed in, and then have towns closer to each other.
Don't know.
Something so it won't just feel like, okay, we're walking from Calm to this town, and then from this town to this town, and like nothing much is really happening between them. So,
who knows?
I'm loving it. Like I said, this is why I love this ending, because now part 2 is just so much mystery. Instead of it just being the same thing. Oh yeah, we know what's gonna happen next. This is gonna happen next. This is gonna happen next. Blah 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 blah. Now it's so much mystery, and now like whatever can happen. Like now Barrett can go and find Dane and whatever, and they can have like their fight. But then something crazy could just happen in the middle of it.
Even in parts of this game, I was like, I'm excited for what they'll do for part 2. I'm excited for what they'll do for part 2. Seeing the same thing, I'm like, I'm really excited for what they'll do for part 2.
Yeah, like that's like now I'm really like, before I was curious. Now I'm curious and more ready for it, more happy. Before I was just curious, I hope they do it this way. I hope they do that.
Now it's like, oh god, they can go anyway.
Yeah, because like I said, now story can just be whatever it wants to be, and like you said they probably won't do it just because you have to be through music. They probably won't do it because it is remake. But remember, this is Nomura we're talking about. Like true. He doesn't care. Like I said, he just made a game. Like, and everybody's saying this, and I'm saying this in a positive way. He just made a game giving a middle finger to all the fans, and he did it because he wanted to. And like he literally said, "Fuck y'all, I want to do my version. That's what I'm gonna do."
My version is everyone lives.
So now what? So now it's like, now it's done. Now it's done. Now it's out there. Now you played it. Now what? What do you want to do? All you can do is just be mad.
Bitch.
And that's what I don't like, his Kingdom Heartsy stuff. Because because it gets
Kingdom Hearts
too.
stuff is a little.
It gets too anime, Kingdom Heartsy. Not even anime. Like Kingdom Hearts is just on a thing of its own.
It's just confusing.
Yeah, like you make it confusing, but make it make sense. Like this seems like Nomura was inspired by what you call it, end of what do you call it? The anime. End of Allegedly. Oh, God damn it! I can never say. Yeah, like those movies. Like the first movie was just a retelling of the show. Then the second one, they did it and then changed some stuff, and then the third one, they kind of was like aware of it, and then they started changing shit, and then like stuff like do it like that, like actually think about it ahead of time. I feel like with Kingdom Hearts and stuff,
I really wonder what they're
started
gonna
throwing
do
a
with
bunch of
Big
stuff in there.
Wedge and Jesse for the next one.
I feel like they're gonna just appear. Like I feel like there's probably not gonna be a big thing because we're leaving Midgar. They're still in Midgar. I feel like they're gonna show up in like another town somewhere, and they're like, "What?" And then like Barrett's gonna have his big moment.
You're alive.
I feel like they probably should do something because like if we get into like the I think I'm saying his name right, Dane. Is it Dane? The other
Dane?
guy with the gun arm.
Things.
The Marlene's father, her real father.
Fuck.
Once we, oh, you don't remember that? That's a
I forgot about it. No, it's been a while since I played with
Oh,
him.
okay, yeah. That's because that's a big part. Because once you go underneath Goat Saucer and stuff, and you're trapped in the jail, and then that's when you meet up with Dane, and then you learn Barrett's backstory, where he's friends with him, and then like they both got shot in the arm, so then they both got gun arms and stuff. But Barrett got to leave and escape, and Dane was trapped there in a jail, and so he's mad at Barrett and stuff like that. And then that's when they fight each other, and they have to fight each other one-on-one. And Dying. That's how you say his name.
Dying? D-Y-N-E.
D-Y-N-E. Okay. I don't know if I'm saying it. I don't know how to say that. Dying, yeah. But, yeah, like, what was I saying? Yeah, like, maybe they can play a part with that part too, like when that part happens, and then they can be there, and they know who that is too, because they was around there. Maybe, I don't know if they were around there or not, but, they could just write that in the story. Nobody would care. But they could be like, oh, yeah, they know who that is and stuff like that, and they can like give more detail about it or whatever, bring some more emotion into it. Like I think that would be a cool thing.
Yeah, Dying.
Did you just Google? I was like, what the hell is that? But yeah, amazing Dying. Game. Kind of like when we was at the.
I give it 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like, all games have its faults. All games have their issues. But literally playing through this was like one of the most enjoyable times that I've had playing video games in a very, very long time, in like years. And I'm talking about since like PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64 time period. Literally like 20 years ago. This was probably one of the most amazing games I've, like I said, had fun with, but with all of the extra stuff, with the way it looks and everything like that, with the stories that it told, with the way it plays. This is probably my favorite video game of all time.
I'm kind of with you on that, because like even when I was streaming, and then playing, I lost track of time so many times. I looked at like the stream, how long I was going on for. I was like, oh my god.
That was the same thing that was happening to me when I was streaming, because like, yeah, I was literally streaming for like I remember the first time I played, the first time, like when it was midnight and whatever, I was only like 5:30. Well, it was 5:30 in the morning, so it was only 5 hours. But then when I streamed the next time, I streamed for like 10 hours and didn't even feel like it. And then like the next time it was like 8 hours, and I'm like, damn, like it doesn't feel like I'm streaming for this long. And I usually by the time I'm streaming this long, I'm like dead tired, and I don't feel dead tired. I just want to keep playing the game.
My last stream was about 7 hours. It didn't even feel like it. And Like every time I had to like end and go to sleep or something like that, I was sad.
Yeah, like that was me. Like it wasn't really like I'm tired and don't want to stream anymore. It was just like I need to come to a stopping point.
I need to not die.
Like, it's been 10 hours. I'm dying right now. But yeah, this was, like I said, I would give this a 10 out of 10. Like, this is the best video game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Even compared to the first one. And
this is one of the first times that I'll be like, I prefer this one.
I prefer this over the, like, and that's the same thing with, like, Resident Evil 3, I prefer that remake over the first one, but like Resident Evil 2, I prefer PlayStation 1 over the remake. But
I prefer either or. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, it's debatable.
We'll talk about that later, though.
There were some things that's
another podcast for another day. But yeah. But yeah, with this, I really do prefer this game. Like I said, like, and the internet is always the death of me. It's always just the toxic shiny that has to argue with somebody just because. Like,
you argue because you have. This is your passion.
It's passion. I know it's passionate, but I do hate that. Like I can't just like look at comments. But it's always comments about. Why did the battle system have to be action? It should just be turn-based. Why did the ending have to be like that? Why did they have to change stuff like that? Why did they have new voices? Why don't they use the old voices? And it's always just complaining. And it's just like, this game is great the way it is. And people are just so nostalgia-filled and have those nostalgia-filled goggles on and won't let them go. And so they don't even realize how great
of a game the unknown journey will continue.
The unknown journey will continue. That they don't even know how great of a game this game is because they want it to be the original so much that they won't allow this to be something that it can be more of. Even before the game came out, when it got released early in like Australia and stuff. And like I was like on one of the Facebook groups, and one of the people who actually played it, like one of the Australians who played it, posted, "This game is so great, it's gonna replace the original, and nobody's gonna remember the original." And somebody, like I think it was an American or European, who didn't play it, commented like angry. It was like, "Oh, like you're stupid for saying this. How can you ever dare say that? It's nothing. Like they'll never replace the original. Blah blah. I haven't played it yet, but I know it's not gonna never replace the original. Nothing's gonna replace." And it's like
geometry glasses.
It's like, how are you gonna say it's not?
8 at this point.
It's like, how can you like, this person has the right to judge and say that it's better than the original. You don't, because you haven't played the new one to say it. But now you're meant to.
At this point.
Yeah, it's outdated, and that's why it's hard to, like, when I see a lot of people that say I still recommend people play the original rather than the remake first. I do, in a way, especially with the ending. I would say with the ending, I would say yes. With just actually getting to see the scale of change and then to actually appreciate that, I would say yes. But I mean, not with the ending. What did I say? I said that wrong. With the regular game, I would say yes. I would say yes, play the remake first with the regular game. I would say play the original with the ending of this and with just seeing the scale of like how much this remake is doing and how much better with music,
we have the internet, so you can just literally watch something.
And yeah, you don't need to play it. You can watch it. Like, it's like reading a book. It's like me saying, "Hey, go ahead and read the book. Go ahead and read the pre-cool novel of it."
We're in a time where the internet exists. We can literally catch up on something without spending too much time.
If you want to play the game and get just that feeling in there, hey, go ahead. If you want to just get the story and to see where everything came from and everything like that, go ahead and YouTube it and watch it there, and then come and then play the remake and then give your opinions and thoughts on the remake. But yeah, like, I am very
play the original, come back to us and tell us how right we were.
But like, I've been like, purposely did, like, I got there's a few Twitch streamers I follow, and I already knew for a fact they never played it, and they're playing it right now, and they're enjoying the game, like they're playing the game and they're like, I like this game a whole lot. It's a really good game. And anytime I see like people talk about this game and stuff, and they're like, yeah, I never played the original, I like this game. This game is great. And like I was watching like kind of funny, like they did their spoiler cast and stuff like that, and I know like a couple of them, like it's like 3 of them that never played it, and they was like, the game is like amazing. Like they was like the ending, they was like with the ending, everything confused them, of course. Like they was like I got confused with the whole like Genova thing and then the Destiny thing and everything, but they was like the whole game. It's like even the story with the Midgard stuff and all of the stuff and the freedom fighting and everything. Like I love that stuff. Like there's like, this is an amazing game, and it's like yeah, like this is a game that people, both fans and newcomers, this is what Final Fantasy 15 was trying to be when they freaking had that conference with Kinda Funny, and they knew that Greg Miller never played the game, and they knew Tim Gades did play the game, and they was like, oh, we want 2 different people from 2 different positions, and then they released the game, and you know, when you start the game up, it says Final Fantasy for newcomers and fans alike, and then you play it, and then fans hated it, newcomers hated it, and it's like, this is not the Final Fantasy that you for fans and newcomers alike, but this is. Yeah. This is the Final Fantasy for fans and newcomers alike.
It's a remake. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. So this is the road that Square should stay on. I'm the type of person, I love remakes because I do like new things. But I do like my old things and my new things becoming new. But once you come and you change shit, I think that even hits me even more to make it like it even more. When you don't change enough of it and you just keep it the same, like Resident Evil 2, like again, we're gonna get into this for another podcast. But Resident Evil 2 to Resident Evil 3, I like Resident Evil 3 remake better than Resident Evil 2, even though I like Resident Evil 2 original better than Resident Evil 3 original, way better. But Resident Evil 2 was me playing the game, experiencing it in HD with a new camera setting, and like, oh, this is the game I love. It looks better now. That's cool. Resident Evil 3 was, I don't know what's about to happen next. I kind of know. I know Jill gets sick, and then you have to play as Carlos. That's it. I know we're going to go to the police station. That's it. But then, like, everything else, like, I don't know what's coming next. And that's the same with this. Like, it's like, I have no idea what's about to happen next. And, like, okay, I know this is happening. Whoa. What happened now?
What's fascinating about this is that this game was developed by all new people.
Mm-hmm.
All new people, but they were fans of the original.
Yeah.
And that's fascinating to me. Mm-hmm. They made a spectacular game.
Yeah. And
they were trying to walk in the footsteps, but also make something greater than the original Kratos.
And I always say, you have a really good game when Shawny wants to go back and play it again right after he finishes it.
And not on hard though.
Because not on hard. Maybe later, because I still need to get that platinum trophy. You need to beat it on hard for that platinum. But I am a person that has really, like, I have gaming ADD. I just always need to play different games, and it's hard for me to stick with one game for a long time and just play through it. And I just like to play a game, get through the story. The story's done, I'm good. And like literally after the story's finished, I was like, I want to play this game again from start to finish.
Being all remakes for this month, except for the last month, which is not a remake.
Yeah.
Except for the last 2 days, so it's not a remake.
But I think that's everything. I think there's nothing else to say. It's rating for the game, 10 out of 10. I highly recommend the game. Don't put nostalgia glasses on to criticize. Put nostalgia glasses on to experience and relive the thing that you used to play when you was a child, and now to see parts of it to be in full HD, and then see other parts with it surprise you and bring you a new journey rather than expecting the same old, same old.
I kind of put a pen at myself.
And that's it. And that was our Final Fantasy VII Remake Spoilercast.
Expect another podcast within a month talking about all the other shit.
Yes. And we thank y'all for coming by. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify or any other just audio podcast thing. I guess that doesn't amount to you because you came here on your own lead. So, but anyway, appreciate y'all for joining us. We love y'all. And we out.
Stay cool.